Hello, good morning, everyone. Welcome to our monthly restream of the DDR Weekly. Very weird mouthful sentence, but we do restream this once a month. We do have a weekly race with variable settings. To stay true to our weekly tradition, we are going to have a 1 stone bridge and 5 medallion Gannon's boss key. This is the typical settings that we have been playing in DDR lately, which gives a lot of free choice and all of the availability of tricks and glitches to our disposal. So I'm going to send the runners off and welcome my co-com Dobby. How are you this morning?
I'm doing well, very well, thank you. This fine, cold December morning.
Oh my god, Drew, why?
Also, before we start, and while we're just getting set up, I do want to shout out our trackers today. We have Siberian, Sadie Sweet, Tomaltech 13, and Curry Chicken. So thank you guys for helping with the tracking.
And then, yes, thank you for doing the command. And as I was literally about to quit to send the runners off, Drunus joined. So
That's why I told you.
You cursed it. You were like, we have like 5 minutes, right, as it's about to go live. I'm like, you know something. Why do you know something?
It's because it's happened basically every time.
Yeah, that's the saying. Kind of surprised it happened. Well, I guess I could have turned it to invite only, but this is not an S4 qual, and it's just a normal weekly race, and we like having a lot of runners. I mean, for this race, we have 9 entrants, which is pretty good. I mean, I'm not going to prevent someone from joining. All right.
We always like having more people in our community, so.
All right. And I have quit, and we will start to see a countdown shortly, hopefully. Yeah, Dotso plays on VC, which actually is... Oh, I have to fix Snarky's again. I guess she changed it. Not something, unfortunately, I can do. There are definitely some visual differences between VC, EverDrive, and Emulator. And I guess that's just something that he's gotten used to over the years. Anyways, now we have a countdown, and we are about to start. Alright, I have some handy-dandy notes up. And there they go.
So we'll likely see at the start of this, DDR, even though it has you have the ability to use lots of glitches, you still require a bunch of items to do so. And so your first priority is going through and collecting some items. So we'll likely see very similar openings to what you'd see in Standard, where you try to get as many items as quickly as possible before then deciding on what kind of route you really want to do.
Right, and because they technically only really need to complete 5 medallions for the boss key, looks like they started with the medallion, so it's only 4 more dungeons, and then 1 stone dungeon for the bridge condition.
And since we see them starting with the medallion, they're very likely to go rush Deku pretty early, since regardless what the reward is, it is going to be good. And in this version, we have open Deku, so they can go there straight away.
And it seems like no one is going for that just yet.
No,
Axe going straight market. And finding Lost Woods Way the hero. So, speaking of our hints, since you created a very fancy script, do you want to talk about that, Dobby?
Sure. It's not that fancy. It's about 10 lines total. But as part of this, what we wanted to do is have what are called named item hints. This is a predefined list you give the randomizer, and it says, I want one of these items. Tell me the general location that this item is in. So it will... It, for instance, can tell you a copy of where a bomb bag is, or etc. And so this can be very nice. And we have, for the DDR community, we agreed on a list of items that we consider useful. And you'll randomly get one of these items to pop up in your hands.
And looking like Sage and Dasa are taking the... Whoa, that was a very quick ISG. Very nice. Taking advantage of the open Deku and just rushing Deku. We had a lot of debate on open and closed Deku, specifically with these settings. We were considering 2 Stonebridge, 4 Medallion Boss Key with open Deku. But when you really look at the item locations and the usefulness of Deku, there's not really a significant difference whether it's open or closed. And honestly, in this rule set, there are so many ways to pass through Mido that it's basically more of a hindrance than a help to try and keep people from rushing it. So we're going to try it this week with just available, though I think Dotso may be regretting this since he lost his ISG and is not able to side hop over to this hintstone. There you go.
He deliberately disabled it, though, which is unusual.
Yeah, because he's shield flicked, which is interesting. And then Sage showing with pretty rainbows how ISG is helpful by holding on to those ledges and not falling off. And yes, chickens are an ice trap. That's a nice sometimes hint.
For those who may be watching glitch versions for the first time, when we refer to ISG, we're referring to Infinite Sword Glitch. It's a technique where you interrupt the crouch stab, and this has a side effect of causing your sword, or in this case, stick, to be infinitely stabbing. And so every frame the game thinks that you are stabbing your sword. This is a nice side effect of causing you to not be able to fall off ledges, which is very convenient for getting around the Deku tree.
And Axe getting dins on shooting minigame. Don't know if there's anything in Deku yet. I will be trying to update these hints.
There are a lot of hints, so that'll be fun.
I know. Slightly regretting having 5 Way of the Hero and 3 Baron.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god, I just wrote Lost Wins. I cannot multitask for the life of me. I don't know why I decided to do these things. Oh, is that a strength that Sage got that I saw at the corner of my eye?
That is indeed a strength. It is possible in DDR to skip, in almost every circumstance, you can skip every single usage of strength. There are specific usages where you may be required to have 1. But in general, strengths are nice, but not really required.
Yeah, there are a lot of items here that in a DDR rule set are much more higher priority and things that have much lower priority. So things like your bomb bag is the absolute highest priority possible, bomb bag or choose, depending on your preference for mega flipping and hessing. But bombs or explosives in general are like the breaker of the entire seed. So whenever someone will find them, we'll probably see a lot of things that would be skipped in a standard rule set. Finding dins is interesting because fire arrow entry is allowed in this rule set. So you don't necessarily require dins to light all of those torches. If we have Nocturne early, I wonder if someone would do quick put away to light the torches as child. That's also a potential. So there are a couple of different available glitches that you can use to enter Shadow Temple. However, in this rule set, you are required to enter the intended way, which means lighting the torches in some fashion.
We did also see in Deku Tree that they found bomb shoes. So we have our first explosives. Bomb shoes are somewhat less versatile than bombs, since there are some glitches that are significantly easier to do with bombs. But they still do allow you to do a good many tricks that we may see. We'll also see these players going for B1 skip. As with standard, this is just a pretty normal thing to do in Deku. I don't know the last time I've seen someone actually do the basement of Deku Tree, so...
Yeah, and it's also nice. So Dato's done what we have seen in standard, which is not allowed, which is culling hitboxes. By just sliding through the web without burning it. So some fancy strats to avoid having to do flame storage, or light with another fire source. I wonder if Sage will do the same.
We did just
Nope,
find Bomb
Sage
Bag on Axe side, at the
Ooh.
on the man on the roof.
Nice.
A Gossip Stone told me that once, Kennerin. I'm actually never seen it myself, but a Gossip Stone told me, so it has to be true, right?
Yeah, early explosives, shoes, and bombs is hype pog. And we did get a pedestal check from Axe, and she is adult. So looks like, if I cannot read that tiny text, so I will look over at what I have on Restream. Our stones are Deku, Jabu, and Forest. So looks like Sage and Datso are going to be getting a stone from completing Deku, which is going to be super helpful if they want to double check if anything is in Gannon's castle, since the bridge will be open. And then of their choice, they must complete four additional dungeons, of which can be Dodongo's Fire, Water, Shadow, or Spirit. And we'll see what items they get along the way to see what may or may not be more worth.
When we did find also
Wait,
a
Richard
boomerang.
had light arrows? Early
Richard
light arrows? Oh.
That's nice. That's a nice one to find early. Don't have to worry about it.
Where was Lord Banana? Which is what people call boomerang. I'm trying to be hip with the crowd.
Hip and cool with all the cool crowd. I believe that was talking to the chicken lady as adult.
Ah, okay. You mean Anju?
Yes. So technically she's not Anju in this game, but it's fine.
What? What is this? What do you mean she's not Anju? Have I been lied to my whole life?
It's the same sprite, but I don't think she's ever referred to as Anju in this game. It's just an MM. But that's fine. Everyone also already knows her as Anju. But Datso being Datso has mentioned it in somewhere. Because of course, it's Datso.
40 is additional bomb juice. And a nice trap. Very nice.
We do see Snarky going for the song opening. This is good in DDR, not just because you can find warp songs that are useful for getting around the world faster, but if you do have to do Shadow Temple, you are required in DDR to have Zelda's Lullaby. Boom. So for those just joining us, and who may have not seen this rule set before, DDR is a glitched rule set designed specifically for OoT Randomizer that lets you do a lot of quality of life glitches while still restricting some of the most potent ones. The restricted glitches include things like bomb hovering, item manipulation, wrong warping, as well as some somewhat more minor, but that kind of defeat some of the intent, things like item duping. Oh, and equip swap, much to the chagrin of some of our runners.
No Hammer's Child today, unfortunately. But this
Also,
is a rule
Snarky's...
set that is... Go ahead.
Oh, no, go ahead.
I was going to say, this is a rule set that's aimed at trying to attract those players that don't know a lot of glitching. So this is... Oh, Greg. I can use something for that. But this is a glitchless seed. So this doesn't mean that you need to know all these fancy glitches that we will be seeing. You are more than able to play on a standard rule set if you want to. It is completely completable. Everything is available with glitchless logic. So it's up to you how much you want to break the game. And there's definitely an environment where a lot of people are more than happy to help teach you. There are a lot of videos. Datso himself has created a lot of them. Mm-hmm. But that you need to know all of these fancy things, although who doesn't love rainbows, as a Sage just decides to get ISG, because why not? And then what were you saying about
the boat skip that Curry mentions, you are required to open the door in order to get to any boss rooms. So if there's most versions of boat skip past the boss door, and in some it's not even loaded. And so for the most part, those are banned. If there's some that let you actually open the door, then you would be able to do those. We were discussing the chicken game and a fun thing you can do there, but we can mention it next time someone gets there. It's fine.
Ooh, I'm intrigued.
It's just a funny thing that can happen, but it's not a really big deal.
That's the one thing I really enjoy about like being on the restream team for this is always learning something new, because I mean, even in every rule set, there are new tricks that people find out along the way. So it's an ever-evolving knowledge base.
So we see Axe going for DC, which, given she found bombs, is definitely a good plan. A quick dungeon to clear and one of your medallions and a couple bonus item checks, might as well.
All I did was look at Dotso and I see him crouching and like jam into some unknown beat. I'm like, what are you doing, bud? He was just waiting for time of day.
Mm-hmm. Every runner has their own way to waste time while waiting for time of day to pass. Some flick the shield with the music. Some just practice some movement for tricks. And Dotso apparently just bobs to imaginary music. The bombs were at Man on Roof. Or at least the one that we found, the only bombs we found so far. Which are very nice early bombs to find.
It's looking like Sage is about to get their bomb bag as well from Man on Roof.
Which they'll definitely be happy about. Oh, look, it's your favorite team. Sage apparently is doing your favorite action the whole game.
He's going to be punished by finding a shield in the next check. Just telling you. Oh, they're after hookshot. Because we already... I'm not hookshot. Oh my god. After bombs. Why am I thinking hookshot?
Everyone in chat, if you personally are on team buy a shield, press 1. If you're on team don't buy a shield, press 2. We got lots of shield buyers here.
I'm so sad.
I personally am also agree.
That's
also
choice.
My opinion.
I think yours is specifically team buy a shield when convenient.
Technically, the full description is hashtag team buy a shield when convenient. But if you don't find it, I mean that's fine too. It just rolls off the tongue.
Definitely. I mean, that is a fair point. Power crouch jabs are powerful. ISG also, unfortunately, requires a shield. But the seed provides all that you need. You must trust. Snarky picking up strength as well. What happened to Axe? Just went offline. Uh-oh.
They had some stuttering there. Might be having some internet issues. We will see.
Her stream died for me. Is it dead for you?
Yeah.
She's offline also on race time. Well, let's hope she comes back on. We'll give her a second.
We are currently experiencing some technical difficulties. Please stand by.
Dobby. I hope that has nothing to do with her brand new computer and that everything is okay. I'm gonna check in her stream and see what's going on. Uh-oh.
Well, people have said before that I'm a robot, so I mean, you might not be wrong, Sadie. Oh, we did also see Dotso going here for a super swim. If you're in the water and you have something that hits your shield, you then hold, I believe it's up, and then quickly press and release Z. You just get an insane amount of speed backwards and helps you preserve it. Lake Hylia is basically the only place it's useful, but it saves a bit of time and it looks cool. So why not go for it?
And I believe we've seen these adult checks already on Axis side that Sage is going through, right? Like going through
Yes.
Dompe.
We have found Greg.
Yes. Oh yeah, I can use another the valid emote. The one of two things that Trez puts for restreamers to just button press for a meme.
Yes, unfortunately, it's not nearly as potent as it is in Wind Waker, in particular because there's not as much water. But it is still nice to do. It does give you some backward speed, so it's sort of like the swim in Wind Waker. But we don't need no fancy storage or anything for that. At this point, we see a lot of them looping back and clearing some of the checks that the other people didn't do, which is normal for this point. A lot of people have a starting route where you just go through and collect items. The only one that really has been doing something different so far is Axe, because she found her bombs early. But it's likely that Sage is going to be going there soon as well.
And this is something that Sphere 0 and Sphere 1 checks are something that most of this group will be rushing. Because as soon as you find the minimum amount of items needed to complete the most amount of dungeons, they're just going to dungeon rush at that point. Which is very useful in this type of setting. See? That's the finding a shield. The game provides what you need. What did I say?
So for all those people who hit 2 earlier, vindicated.
And it looks like Axe's internet dropped, but she will be coming back shortly. So there may or may not be a resync when that happens. And there she goes. She popped back up on my comm page. Dobby, you may want to refresh it.
Oh, she's popped up. I will refresh anyway, though.
Yeah, I'm going to give her a refresh so that she can get up to the sync.
And here's RG thinking he's going to give some random advice. It looks like we just missed
all of DC. And
oh, wow. Hopefully there wasn't anything important there.
Looking at her tracker, does not seem like it. Other than potentially a tunic. But I don't think so. Because I think everyone else has tunic selected on their personal tracker. So I'm going to say no. And we'll see it on someone else's stream. Oh. Axe is not very happy with her internet, understandably.
It does make sense. The internet always knows when you're doing a restream, and we'll pick that time to have problems.
Let's see. Now I can focus back on this. So we're going to see all the checks that we missed from Axe on stage now, since they'll be going through DC. It's going to be synchronizing for a hot second. But yeah. Everything is fine.
Yes, I can tell that Axe is not happy with her internet right now. I assume that's an internet company.
Yes, it is. So Curry's saying I missed a scale hint by the bridge scrub that Snarky just got, I guess. Not Snarky, actually, yeah, Snarky, because she was over there. Did you happen to see where the scale was located?
I did not, personally.
GTG hoards a bow.
So that would be the named item hit that we were mentioning. It will...
With
nice.
a hammer!
Hammer right next to it. So that is just telling you that there is a bow in GTG. It, however, does not tell you that that is the first logical bow. It just tells you there is one. So it's up to you whether you decide you want to go for it. It is simply an option there for you.
So Lost Woods Way the Hero is definitely for that hammer. Did we see any Way the Hero hits at all? Other than Lost Woods? Yet?
I believe we have.
And
I
did
couldn't
we
tell
see
you
any
where, though.
Foolish yet?
I've not seen any Foolish myself. There you go. There's that other shield, too.
Shield. I'm telling you, you gotta trust the seed.
Mm-hmm. Hammer is definitely an interesting way of the hero, however, since if that is the case, given it is five medallions that are needed. So if it is way of the hero, that's indicating you need hammer for an item. Since hammer is only needed to beat Volvagia, it can't be for the medallion. It could be an item in Fire Temple, or it could be for one of the Hammerlock checks.
Speaking of unique items, other unique items are Mirror Shield and Boomerang. For Jabu, which has always been a point of contention with our polling, you are required to enter as child with a fish. You can not do the jump slash or recoil into Jabu. You can also not enter as adult. So Boomerang is essentially required to beat Jabu if that is something that you choose to do, which is a stone this time, which I guarantee no one is going to be touching with a 10-foot pole.
No. I would be very surprised if anyone even goes in there.
Oh, there was Rudos in DC. Definitely useless.
100% useless. In DDR, there is an absolutely trivial trick to skip past King Zora as an adult. Literally, all it is a jump slash, and there's a wall right next to you that gives you the angle. There is also a technique, or several techniques actually, to get past it as a child. They tend to be slightly more difficult, but really aren't too bad to execute. We do know with 50 skulls being a slingshot, there is no way that anyone's going to go and get that. Oh, for sure. Adult King Zora skip is one of, if not the easiest tricks in the entire game.
And looks like Snarky is going to do the jump slash in here, although she's a little slightly off angle. Unfortunately, not getting lucky with a Navi call to Navi dive. Oh, and getting a recoil. We got 3 sticks. We believe. Also picking up hammer. Oh, so close. So close. Oh, she's gonna abandon the swag strap. But that's okay. We always appreciate swag straps.
Even if they're only attempted swag strats.
Oh, she's gonna go back. Oh, she was just resetting the...
Resetting the
I guess
angle.
to get the angle. Yeah. A lot of these tricks are angle specific. And it's always worth resetting if you have a specific setup that requires entering from a direction. And then also Sage opting to bomb the wall and trail. But one also super easy free trick is to just side hop and jump slash through it so you don't have to waste an explosive. And 40 was bombs, not bomb shoes, I think. E-tier, these are not S4 settings. These are what we're calling our weekly DDR settings at the moment, which is 1 stone bridge, 5 stone Gannon boss key. And we are having Open Deku this week with a custom hint distro with 5 Way the Hero, 3 Baron, 1 named item hint, the always hints, and the rest are filled with sometimes.
To note, though, if you go to the website and use the DDR preset, those do not have the same settings that we currently use. Our current settings are kind of a work in progress. And so you'll find the settings that we used in Season 1 of DDR.
Which are the current standard weekly settings also, just with enable useful cutscenes. So after S4 quals, if standard weekly decides to change their settings, we probably will also update our preset with the most likely settings, which is probably going to be this, with the custom distro. Because any settings that DDR choose are always going to be fun, in my opinion. I mean, feel free to disagree, Dobby. But I think our struggle right now is just hints. Because it's always frustrating to find a Tunic Way the hero, or Ruto's Letter Way the hero, because those are items that we really don't need. So if anything, we're just trying to really tweak our hints as much as possible.
We've opted for the reverse OCS strat, and we're trying to get our hints that aren't entirely bait. So it is something that we're currently working on and working on tweaking in order to get that balance of useful hints while not being super overpowered, where we don't want the game to tell you exactly everywhere you need to go in order. But at the same time, we don't want them to tell us that we need to go get a tunic in order to have a key at the bottom of Water Temple, which the rule set's creator, Golden Sierpinski, has had happen and was not happy.
And looks like Sage is... Oh no, don't get stuck! He was super sliding through the rocks? Or hessing? That was a hess. I fixed it!
Mm-hmm.
I'll learn one day. All the lingo. Can you super slide, or is it a hess?
I think because you need to change your angle, I think you may be required to hess there. But possibly if you have like a perfect angle, you might be able to simply super slide since they have the same speed. But the angle tends to be a little finicky. So having the ability to hess and then wiggle is very useful. There are people who don't know what we're referring to and haven't seen these kind of glitch categories before. There are several movement tricks you can do in the game using bombs. The simplest of which is to simply put down a couple of bombs and then roll into them at a specific time, and then hold out your shield. This will give you a huge burst of movement backwards. It's referred to as a super slide, but you can only go in a straight line. There's also a more complicated technique where you hold an angle on your control stick called the ESS position. That's just slightly off from the dead zone. This allows you to preserve your speed, and you can combine that with a similar kind of movement from super slide in order to get the same speed from a super slide, but also have the ability to change your angle.
And while you're doing that, another strat with movement is mega flips. So Sage mega flipped across the gap in Crater to get Requiem, which is really good to get. You can reverse to GTG to get your bow if you so choose, since that was the named item hint for the seed.
Floor masters are indeed scary.
Ooh, shoot
Especially
the
as a
sun
kid,
gives
they
me
always
fire.
terrified me.
Thank you, Snarky, for pausing on hints so that we all can read.
Oh, we did get a foolish for the ranch.
Haunted Wasteland and Ranch. Okay, so then we got both. We have all three of our foolish then. Goron City, Haunted Wasteland, and Lon Lon Ranch.
Oh boy, Haunted Wasteland foolish. What are the chances?
At least it's not outside Ganon's Castle Fairy, which means if not, when we find ZL, or if they already have ZL, we will probably see someone clip past that in one of the myriad ways that you can do so, since they all have explosives.
I did also see Dotso do a fantastic strat for lighting those torches. It appeared he did flame storage and then talked to the Zora, and then walked backwards to be able to reignite his stick, and then just jump off the waterfall. It was beautiful. I love it.
Wow, I'm so sad. Is Sage also waiting for time of day?
Probably, maybe for that skull. Yeah.
It is kind of free. This is something you can also do in standard. If you just do a quick spin and then backflip, you essentially kind of collect that hitbox that's poking through the boulder. It is something that we see a lot in standard as well. ZL
Dotso, what are you
was
doing?
Serenade.
Oh, I think Dotso's trying to glitch out his timer.
Can you do that by pausing a lot?
I think there's something you can do where, like, if it elapses like that the timer actually doesn't end. So I think he realized he wasn't going to be able to successfully complete the diving minigame in time. So he did that in order to completely skip.
Oh, look, another shield! 2 shields! Sorry, that was extremely important to interrupt with.
Oh, it was clearly vastly important. For all you hashtag team never buy a shield.
Yes. I feel like this data now has to show all the haters of, like, see? When you don't get a shield for 4 hours, it's intentional. Shout out to the seed played... What week was that? I think that was the random setting seed that Miraculous did earlier this week, where Song of Time was on Phantom Ganon, because it was Songs and Dungeon Rewards, and Axe is enjoying her chickens and ice trap hint. But yeah, Songs and Dungeon Rewards and Closed Door of Time. And all of your shields that you could buy were locked on child, and you started as adult. So that's Steve's way of saying learn how to use without a shield. Or just not skip. Whichever one.
The fun thing for that, Big Yano, is that in DDR, if all your shields are in Ganon's Light Trial, that's actually a good thing. There's a very, very easy trick you can do in order to unload the block that is blocking the Light Trial and access those items super early. We'll probably see if any of the players go for it, that there's a fairly easy, fairly fast version you can do, but there's also a super easy version where you just simply open and close the door to enter and exit the Spirit Trial until the block unloads.
Yeah, when I was rewatching the restream last time, and there were 3 different methods, I think, of unloading Spirit Trial or clipping past it. And I just remember that no one was happy that I decided to open and close the Spirit Trial door 17 times. And Dotso is adult with a stone. Let's see if he will dare to go to Ganon's castle.
I anticipate he probably will. It is quite a number of checks that are fairly quick to get and mostly free, especially for someone of Dotso's level.
And we're finding Bagoran is also dead with a piece of heart, which probably has seen earlier, and we are going the wrong direction. Wow, the avoidance of Ganon's castle today is really, really, really hard.
Guess we won't get to see that cool trick yet. Oh, one other thing that that I noticed, we got a hint saying that Frogs 2 had the Kokiri sword. So this would have been absolutely terrible if the closed Deku and you needed the sword for that. That would have been horrendously bad. But would probably just resulted in you skipping the Deku tree.
Which is also nice because regardless of your bridge or boss key condition, you don't need to do all the dungeons.
Tell that to AD seeds.
Shh, we don't know if that's this yet. And looks like ZL on Minuet.
Oh, and Snarky just getting her bombs now.
And Skull Kid grants bomb shoes. Only 5. As Axe gets bomb shoes from Deku Tree.
So we see Dotso checking the medallions, probably trying to figure out what items that he actually is going to need, since what typically ends up happening is routing out almost low percent, where you just collect the items you need in order to complete whichever 5 medallions you need to get. In this case, you only need to beat 4 dungeons, so it's very, very quick. And then just finding the bare minimum, then completing them.
So Curry asking a really good question. Is there a true AD anymore with these settings? So it's not going to be AD in the sense of 3 stones and 6 medallions, but you would be needing all 3 stones at least to get Song of Time. So since this one is Sun Song, we may have to see them do Jabu and Forest to get that, but it would not be all 6 medallions. It would still only be the 5. At least that is what logic would do. And since we do have a boomerang, who knows? We may need that Sun Song. One can hope.
It is entirely possible to for them to need to complete all 3 child dungeons, which we either hope for or don't hope for today, depending how cruel you want to be to these runners.
And Vanilla Storms. I must have missed that earlier with Axe. And it looks like Sage is taking the ZL and checking Fairy Fountain, and then is probably going to head and get Bow, if they can. We don't know where in GTG it will be Bow. We definitely know it's not Center Chest, since that one was hinted.
And yeah, as we were mentioning when we were discussing the named item hints, it does not. We don't know what bow it is. It can be either the first intended bow or it can be later ones. So it's entirely possible that the bow that they got a hint for is in a bow locked location. There's no way to know. It's just somewhere in GTG. Rip Axe's internet.
Oh, she's going to be very, very salty.
Well, since chickens are dead, she can use all that salt to, like, season the chicken. It will be perfect. It'll be lovely.
Oh, looks like it was just a momentary dip. Hopefully she'll be coming back shortly. Ah, there we go. Coming back. That will be a resync.
I've got a looping, and it's absolutely fantastic on my end.
Yeah, you can refresh. I'm going to refresh her stream on Restream.
Yeah. It's fantastic because it looks like she's saying please. So it sounds like she's begging her internet to work, which would be an appropriate reaction at this point. Yeah.
All right, and let's see. Everyone is circling around each other again. I think we're probably looking for a hookshot at this. What do you think, Dobby?
Hookshot is definitely one of the major items they're still definitely going to want, since it's required for the entrance requirements for many dungeons, including forest and water. It's strictly required. and it's also could be needed for like in order to access Spirit Temple, as well as of course being super useful in all of those dungeons. So it could be something that they really need before they start dipping their dungeons. We will find out. One also thing interesting to keep in mind is I believe we got a Way of the Hero for CAC. So something in here is Way of the Hero.
Other than Bomb Bag or Song of Storms? Oh, I should actually add that. Because if it is Song of Storms, we have not seen a well dip. No. And Snarky is adult right now. So between Axe and Snarky, I guarantee one of them would kill a chicken to enter bottom of the well.
Yes, though not as adult.
Not as adult, as child.
Yeah. Yeah, theoretically, we can't get songs as Way of the Hero, I think is the intent of the hint distro.
Oh, yeah, no, we can't. I keep forgetting.
Yeah, I think Curry is right. Rang would be very surprising as a Way of the Hero. It's possible, but since it's only required to beat one dungeon, it's not super likely to be hard required in the seed. Unless it's pointing to all stones required, which would be hilarious.
Yeah, Axe is definitely not happy with her internet today.
No.
And Sage doing a fire dip.
Why would anyone voluntarily go in fire?
It is a medallion dungeon, and you have a hammer. You could actually complete it. I mean, that would be their third medallion.
But it's fire.
Because deep fire. Oh, I think I have a meme for this.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see if I can find it. Oh, I have to put this on. Let me post it in this chat. Because if so, I am going to thoroughly enjoy the fire bait meme. But also, I mean, I don't think it's going to be bait because it is a dungeon they can technically complete if they have a not bow-locked boss key. And we don't have hovers, which means it's not in logic yet. But that does not mean... Oh, that's a well-bait one. I have one for fire bait, too.
Though we will see, since even if it's technically bow-locked, I don't think that any... or definitely not Sage is going to would need bow, since you can use there's exactly one really big trick in fire that skips a little bit and allows you to clip into the area with the block. It allows you to clip into that section with the Goron a bit earlier, which you can use that to access the upper section and basically skip needing the bow. Yeah, they could indeed. Corey. So I don't think there's really any the likelihood of them being hard locked by the bow.
I mean, they do know where a bow is, also.
Yes, that is true. Yeah, frogs to Kokiri. Oof. That's a pretty gross.
You rolled it, for the record. I didn't roll this seed. This is a Dobby seed.
It's perfect for DDR. So I'm happy. Yes, it is possible the bow is bow locked in GTG. We don't know that yet, so. And bow locks many locations in GTG because there's the two at the start as well as the two that are from shooting the eyes, and then plus you can have issues with keys otherwise. So we don't know where in GTG the bow is. We just have a hint that says that it's somewhere in GTG. As anticipated, we see Snarky and Dotso going for a DC dip. Since we do know that it has a medallion, and they have bombs quite early, it's definitely worthwhile to do.
Also, those amazing accents, Snarky getting nuts at the exact same frame. That was impressive. From two completely different locations.
We do see here Dotso's going for a technique in order to keep the door open a little bit a little bit longer, where you target on a specific frame. I think it's a frame you land on the switch, and the game doesn't register the correct amount of time. It gets really confused, and so the door opens long enough for you to just hop on out and open the door to King Dodongo. It doesn't save as much time in Rando because of the fast block pushing, but it still does save a couple seconds. It's not nearly as bad as in Vanilla, where that saves approximately 300 years of pushing a block.
So far, finding nothing in fire. Not even a boss key.
To note, for those who may not have seen the DDR rule set beforehand, one of the requirements of the DDR rule set is that you have to open boss doors using the boss key. So they do have to go through all of the dungeons at least to the point that they find the boss key. Which is why fire is particularly bad, because it takes forever to go through, and if you don't find the boss key early, have fun with deep fire.
Fire bait meme is real. Also, I probably would have done this too, because there's a 10 out of 10 chance that I will full clear fire for no apparent reason, except when I'm on restream, where actually it had my mirror shield.
Feels bad, man. We did see just there Sage go for the clip they were mentioning earlier. You can use a bomb to push you through that wall and access this area early, and this lets you climb back up and just you clear the upper area, which is very convenient.
Especially when you do not have a bow, because logically you would need bow to get to that area.
Mm-hmm. But DDR logic is just like kind of a suggestion, so it's fine.
It's like a no logic seed, but with reasons.
Yeah. If the logic expects you to do things and you just ignore it, it's fine.
Bow can be a deep fire requirement.
Mm-hmm. Logically, yeah, it can definitely be. Bow can be required. In DDR, not actually required, but logically required. Oh, Dotso also showing off here a fun quirk about Power Crouch Stab, if you're not aware. It stores the damage and the properties of being able to break rocks from hammer. And so you can just crouch stab and destroy rocks.
And Sage getting the boss key in the boulder maze, dropping down and collecting that. So good news is that they can at least get a medallion from this Baron dungeon. I also realized for the longest time I was listening to nothing, because I had to constantly refresh, and I had Snarky's audio on since that's what Restream is hearing. And I'm like, why is there so many awkward silences?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, deep fire is locked by a bow, and most likely there is a key on Volve. Also, hover's locked as well, because you can not make it up to the highest pillar to knock it down, so logically you are also required to have hovers. And even though none of us really care to have that for finishing fire, it is useful knowledge to know, that you are meant to find these items before you come to this temple. So knowledge is very important in DDR. The items more or less so.
It is the difficult part as you're learning more and more tricks. Is you have to be able to balance going out of logic, but still being able to keep track of what the game expects you to be able to do. It is one of the difficult things as you're learning. The tricks themselves, since you basically learn them at your own rhythm, that part tends to be not too bad, and there are plenty of people who can help you. But I think there are like 3 people in the entire world who actually understand spirit logic, just to begin with. And so if you try to add in some tricks to that, that can really get very complicated very quickly.
And Slingshot on Trail, Song of Storms Grotto. Logically required to beat Deku, which matters in no rule set anymore. But that's useful that they do not need. I think 50 was also a Slingshot.
Mm-hmm.
So they don't need to collect 50 skulls anymore to beat Deku and kill Goma.
Which is good because none of our players have done that until they get Slingshot. So they definitely needed that. Yeah, Curry, I think that's the simplest way to go about it. Is just assume there's no logic in Spirit, and you're fine. Or unless you mean just Spirit itself doesn't exist, that is also a viable strategy. One I personally disagree with because I love Spirit, but hey.
Now we had a hint for irons for Shoot the Sun, so I wonder who's going to pray they get time of day or wait out time of day to get irons, since we have not yet found any scales. But once they get a hook shot, they can go beat water for another medallion. Because you only need 2 more medallions, so of those has to be water, shadow, or spirit. And if we're saying spirit doesn't exist, they have to do water and shadow.
And it definitely depends. DDR, especially with these settings, tends to mostly be what items you find and what tricks are you comfortable with or are okay learning mid-race. Since, if you don't find Mirror Shield, well, then guess you're not doing Spirit.
But you still require it anyway to beat it in DDR. That's Twin Rova.
Yes.
But
yes,
you do not require a hookshot to beat Spirit. You can do hookshot-less Spirit.
Mm-hmm. You can both do it using, I believe, Dotso and Toxic Oxygen had a strat that they showed. They could do it even without glitches. That is a viable strategy here, as well as there's some other tricks you can do, namely a trick called Statue Climb that lets you just get up there even sooner.
That's if they're going to go pick up their ZL. Another thing is to emphasize the entering dungeons the intended way. Even though we do have explosives, we cannot hover into Forest Temple. You are required to use the hookshot to shoot the branch to bring you up there. So this is only useful for the song, which Daza will be glad he did to pick up ZL, since that would help a lot with progression with all the fairy fountains. No one still has gone to Ganon's castle though.
No.
So I'm hoping we see something soon. And also looks like Sparky will also mega flip across in Crater. Very nice. Smooth. And getting Requiem. And songs are hard.
Songs are indeed hard.
Oh, so the scale was on the left Colossus hand. Nice. Well, good thing Colossus does not exist and Spirit doesn't exist, right?
Well, I don't know. It brings back the old debate, though. Are the hands part of Spirit? Because if Spirit itself doesn't exist, but Colossus area does, maybe the hands exist, but the rest of the dungeon doesn't. We don't know.
Is it like Bongo Bongo, where the hands are just like suspended in midair and not attached to anything? It's in a different dimension.
It's exactly like that, which means that we can shoot the hands of Colossus with ice arrows. We've cracked the code, guys. We've cracked it.
It looks like the song I missed on Requiem with Saria. So getting ZL is in logic because you can play the song for Mido, although everyone will not do Mido skip, and instead just do Mido skip, which is itemless this time around for both Sage and Dotso. And finally, where we go to Ganon's Castle, Sage is going to clip behind the Great Fairy Fountain. You can do this in many ways. If you have hovers, you can use a recoil with hammer or your master sword. Either would work. With bombs, I think there are two different methods. You can super slide behind, or you can just do a jump clip, which is extremely similar to the one that he just performed in Fire. So a damage boost, right? Is that what it's called?
I don't think that's a damage boost. I don't know what the technical term for that is actually, because damage boost usually is to get you extra distance. I'm not actually sure, but it's some kind of clip. That's for sure.
Yes, that check is essentially free depending on whatever method you would like to do, because Strength 3 is only a suggestion, not a requirement.
Yeah. Basically, all of those strengths are just a suggestion in DDR.
I will only get Strength 3 if I don't like the color of gauntlets. Like, if they give me, like, really gross yellow gauntlets, I'm going to go look for pink or purple.
That does seem like an appropriate way to do it. Now, one thing to note that you may be confused about is you see that we actually have no trials on right now. So they are able to just go through. And earlier we were mentioning a trick that allows you to unload the block that's in front of the light trial. That works by duplicating those light beams. And you'd think that if there are no light beams, the trick wouldn't work. But it doesn't. For some reason, those light beams are still loaded into the game and you can duplicate them. I couldn't tell you why, but they are. So far, though, Ganon's Castle has not had very many good things in it.
Where is our hookshot?
Yes, we do definitely want our hookshot.
What is Sage do? Oh, Sage is doing a different setup to get into light trial. That's the super slide?
Yes, there is. That's not the usual method you use for it. I usually go from the other side, but that works absolutely. That is definitely faster than going through and unloading the block. But it does require super slide, so it requires bombs to do.
We have only found one strength thus far, I believe. Everyone got their strength from Deku, so we don't know where the other two strengths are. Oh, they're getting a fish bottle. How nice. A bottle they can actually use.
Yeah, now they're going to go.
It looks like they may have to go to Jabu.
Yeah, the game's hinting it. Gave you Boomerang, even gave you a bottle with a fish in it.
And Rudos. So logically, it's even there as available. That really sucks. If only that was a medallion, that would be much more appealing. But as a stone, and since they've already done Deku, why? We're also closer now to turning on Mask of Truth, since that was also a potential option that has been thrown around. And Sage, thankfully, before leaving where the block reloads, back and doing Lullaby chests.
So technically, Sage never unloaded the block, so it doesn't need to reload.
No, as soon as you walk away
there's
from
a bow.
Oh, getting a bow. Nice. That's a good
That's
find.
an interesting location.
But as soon as you walk away, doesn't it reappear?
Yes. If you do unload it, it does reappear unless you've already loaded too many things. So it depends what kind of strat you do. Mm-hmm. Well, we also see him going for this really disgusting strategy in order to get the rupee that's above there. You can use jump off of the statue.
I thought he was going to do like the backflip over the Beamos.
Oh, where you get well, the backflip over the
Or is that
Bebos,
only
I think
child?
you need. Yeah, I think that might require ISG though, and might be actually hovering in order to do that. Whereas this method you can do without, making it look super easy.
Oh, it looks like Axe also made her way into Gannon's castle, following behind Sage. Let's see. Axe is probably going to do the unloading by going in and on Spirit Trial. Yep.
So this is the simpler version of the unloading. It's a little bit slower since you have to repeatedly go through a door transition every time. But it's basically foolproof because you just look at the door every time and see, or look at the block and see if it's gone. And if it's not gone yet, you just keep going.
Yeah, unfortunately for Axe, though, she does not have Zelda's Lullaby from Sacred Forest Meadows, so she will be unable to get her bow. Feels bad.
Feels bad, man. If people are familiar with the trick, in order to access the if you go from Nocturne and you want to access the Composer's Grave, it is the same trick there to do it.
And also happy 1 hour. So I will give shout outs to obviously my co-com Dobby. Thank you for sticking out with me and commentating today. And our 4 trackers, Siberian, Sadie Sweet, Tumbletalk 13, and Curry Chicken. Thank you for doing all that you do behind the scenes and keeping our restream up to date with all of these items. And of course our 4 runners that we are following, Sage, Dotso, Aksani, and the Snarky Lesbian. Here's to another hour.
Pog.
Let's hope I don't have to say that 4 more times.
Or, 7 more times. As apparently might have happened with some of the random settings.
Which actually does happen in random. So, I think my favorite moment is another restreamer, George, was restreaming a random settings. Or not random settings or a Freaky Friday. I can't remember which one it was. Both of which are equally long seeds. And he got to come on and say happy 6 hours. And he's like, I never get to do this. This is the best day ever.
I personally, after 6 hours, I might
like, oh god,
be a little bit less cheery. But I mean, hey.
If this takes 6 hours, then I don't know. I think they're gonna come driving all the way up to you and figure out where you live and try to murder you in your sleep.
It's entirely possible.
That would be really awful.
It would be an exceptionally bad DDR seed.
I don't know. Even exceptionally bads are still sub 4, but we still don't have a hookshot 1 hour in, although we have a lot of shields, because Team Never Buy a Shield is obviously the correct answer.
Mm-hmm. It is. In this case, it does turn out that that's the ideal thing. What item are people looking for? At this point, we're still looking for quite a number of things. The most important one, though, that we're looking for is hookshot. None of our players so far have found that. So, and that is going to be, I think might even be required at this point, though I think you could get exceptionally lucky and avoid it.
And then I guess after that, we need either hovers or, actually I lied, we don't need hover shield, we need
hover shield, poggers.
Hover shield, I know. Because I was thinking to myself, like, I can't speak on a good day. I don't know why people expect me to commentate. But so we need a hover boots for Shadow, which honestly are only a suggestion. You don't need hover boots. You can do it without by doing mega flips, even to the boss door, or hard required mirror shield if you so choose to do spirit. You would need to do a different setup to skip past the block. You can do it with explosives only. Having hovers makes it a lot easier, or if you get your second strength. So I'd say the items that we'd be looking for, other than hookshot, which we absolutely need, would be hover boots themselves, which technically are required in Logic for Fire. Mirror Shield if they decide to do Spirit. We know where irons are, which are on Shoot the Sun, so we could wait out the time. Are we allowed to use the fancy glitch that shoots you all the way up into the sky to get that, Dobby? I feel like that was
Collection
asked
delay?
once.
Yes, the collection delay. Oh, I don't know if actually, because I forget if that was one that Golden was on the fence about, and I forget if it actually made it into the final version. I think it might have made it, especially since it's something you can do by accident. But I'm not 100% confident.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure either. I remember it was a point of contention.
Yeah.
Fanta saying it's banned. It may have been that specific instance because collection delay is allowed in general. Like you can do collection delay for Man on Roof. But I don't remember the specific reasoning why Golden was saying that one was banned. But that's what I started saying that. I'm like, wait a minute, is this even allowed?
Yeah. I think collection day in general, usually we try to avoid specific instances. So if it's not allowed there, it wouldn't be allowed in general. I know you are not allowed to duplicate the item that's on the man on roof. You are not allowed to do that. That was definitely also a point of contention.
Right.
That we are trying to decide for a while.
I thought I saw ones that Datso, not in this race, but in a different race, that collection delay had happened. Let's see, what does this say? Duping collections is not available. Oh, collection delay, e.g. gold scale from child fishing. Maybe I'm using the wrong term then. Is it item collection delay where you don't get the item while you're standing and talking to Man on Roof? It's after you jump down and a couple of seconds later. Is that called something different?
That is still collection delay that you're using. So I think in general that's not allowed, other than obviously accidental ones. But
okay. So, yeah, Fanta, you are correct. That collection delay is banned. So that means they would not be able to get it through a fancy glitch strat. They would have to either have long shot, or have finished water temple to raise the water, which sucks.
Yeah. Which is especially funny because the item you get there is iron boots, which you'd want for water.
So, Datso getting closer and closer to doing Hoverless Shadow by finding magic in highest Goron. So Sage missed out on that by not going to highest Goron. So hopefully the other magic will be able to be found, because I highly doubt that they will be going back to Fire Temple to get that. Oh, thank you, Curry. I will update the hint command. I was so distracted by Chicken Lady not being called Anju that I completely forgot that she gave us Boomerang. I will also remove storms because we did remove songs from being hinted way the hero. So we are yet again on a hunt for a hookshot, as we're circling around some of these same locations. Do we want to open a bet? I feel like as soon as I open a bet, it'll be found in the next location. But we can open a very quick one. It seems like Dato is now going to finish Volve. Axe is potentially going across to GTG. Actually, maybe eventually. She's just going to clear up Hyrule Field. Sage is Child. I guess going to do Jabu. Maybe? I will open a bet, because why not? We'll do it for like a minute or two. There you go, Sadie. Now you can try your bet. Song of Time. I don't think we have Song of Time yet. So your options are we think we saw Saria. Your options are Ice Cavern, on Nocturne, or Composer Grave, or Royalty. Those three. What other ones am I missing? Are you still there, Dobby?
Yeah. I just missed the start of
Okay.
that. So we're looking for locations for hookshot that are absolutely disgusting. It also depends too. It also depends too, since we could have a disgusting hover boots, and then have Shadow be where we find hookshot. That's less disgusting for DDR, of course, since they could just mega flip. Deep Spirit could also be a fun spot. We've had that happen a couple times, and it's always entertaining that when the check right before, or the last check at the top of Spirit is a hook shot.
And Sage just drained the well, so we'll have to tell them later that he's DQ'd.
DQ
that
for
is
sure.
a no-no. So I'll give it until Sage is about to come up to the first chest to close the bet. So if anyone wants to add their bets quickly for where is our first hook shot, since we're about to go into bottom of the well.
And for those who might not know, the opening bottom of the well is a very big meme in the DDR community, as there is the intended strat, which is using Song of Storms, which is lame, and using intended strats is generally the last thing you want to do. There's also a preferred method, which is use a Kuko or chicken, and you get ISG and anger it as you're carrying it, and then you can backflip and go straight through the water while the cutscene plays of the chicken getting mad at you. That's usually the one that most people prefer to do for the swag. You are also able to do a method that where you do a Navi dive.
Or there's, like the actual intended way by playing the song, but no one does that except Sage.
No one who we actually hope to win does it, because as soon as they do that, automatically they've lost in our eyes. So we do know that if Snarky it ends up going to the bottom of the well, there is like 100% chance that she will do one of those two strats and not actually do it properly. So we will get to see that.
And Axe as well.
Oh yeah, Axe would definitely go for it too.
That's showing off a really cool, easy strat to manipulate the flags in Haunted Wasteland. If you climb down the ladder up and down quickly to have them reload, they will stay lit and make it super easy to cross. And he's doing a different strat to cross the quicksand. There's another easy one that if you jump onto the boxes and side hop to the right once and just backwalk all the way up, you will also make it across. And not require hovers or long shot. Oh, you messed up the Kuko die? That's why you did that? Oh no. Alright, you know what? I will forgive that as long as he attempted it.
And partial credit. Like, if no one else goes for it, does Kuko dive, I mean, I guess it's acceptable. Oh, I like that swag strat to destroy the box. That is cool. I like that.
We approve swag strats.
Mm-hmm. There's a second named item, which we've already seen. but that's saying that you can find one bow, not necessarily your first one, but you can find a bow somewhere in GTG. So then it's up to you. Do you want to go for it or do you not want to go for it? We'll likely see
nice
Dr. go for it.
From Snarky. Sorry.
Oh, sorry. No, let's go. Go ahead.
So Snarky did the Brutal letter skip as child. So I just wanted to applaud her. She got that first try. Very nice.
Oh, that's awesome. As we mentioned, like way earlier, there are several methods you can do in order to get past them. They basically all use explosives, though. And it's not quite as easy as doing it as an adult. But to be fair, nothing can be quite as easy as doing that clip as an adult. So it's fair.
It does seem like we will also be seeing Jabu after, as she's pulling out Boomerang. So Boomerang and Bottom of the Well will be dipped to see if that is where our first hook shot is. I hope Axe will climb high enough to get her magic. Ooh, getting another bomb bag. Very nice.
Extra bombs are always nice.
Is that the third
That is a bomb
bag?
locked bomb, so it is putting extra value towards that that bomb bag possibly being Wave the Hero in CAC. That's definitely 2. I don't know if we've seen the third one though.
Oh, and looks like Sage found the hookshot in Bottom of the Well.
Hog.
I believe there were a couple of people that said that.
Oh, and there's that bomb bag. Now I think that bomb bag is actually technically bomb locked, since I think as soon as you find one key in a bomb locked location, it's dead. You can't access it.
Oh my god!
Double won the bet. Double won the bet.
Oh my god! Oh, Snarky, I'm so sorry. The one time where you could have rushed the well. The well was not the bait. The well had both the hook shots. Oh my god.
Oh. That is kind of amazing, and I love it.
Oh, man.
The seed wanted you to do the cuckoo dive.
It did. Oh my god. Yeah, they are both in logic because we have Song of Storms, and we had bombs, and Zelda's Lullaby, so you could full clear. Oh goodness. So now we could technically finish the game. These are the minimum amount of items that you need to clear both Shadow and Water. So Requiem was in Crater, yes. So we're technically in go mode, essentially, if we wanted to.
Hover's locked or Bolero locked. We don't know, like, for instance, it could be... Bolero could have been at Serenade.
Hovers...
Since they do have
Hover's
access.
locked logically. We're not Hover's locked for Shadow.
Yeah.
But yeah, wow. So we can clip into water as long as you clip back inbounds before getting into the dungeon, right?
Yes, there are several methods you can do to skip needing iron boots in order to beat Water Temple. The most common one is you do an Ocarina dive in order to get down there. I think technically you could probably cutscene dive, though that might require something to push you. You could also clip out of bounds, and then as long as you clip back in bounds just before you actually enter the dungeon, it's fine. So that technique is very difficult.
I also just realized Sage does not have their magic, so we need to find where the other magic is, or they're gonna have to go back and clear highest Goron, which is probably the lowest on their priority list at this time. Because they can't get into Shadow now, even though they have Dins.
Oh yeah, that is true. We've at least know where all the items they need, but I don't think Sage has magic, so technically can't get in there yet.
What is Sage? Sage trying to do this is what? What is this?
He's doing a super slide now. I'm not sure exactly what he's trying to go for.
I am so confused.
I'm so confused. I'm Dobby.
Somehow I expected that. Should not be surprised. Oh look, another Deku shield.
Pog.
Axe finding the boss key and still choosing to clear. Actually, I don't think she can because she has no key. And did she not do the block skip?
I think she tried to go for it, but I don't know. I don't think she managed it. She was also looked like trying to go for like a very old setup for it, which I think is a little bit harder than the methods normally used now. Oof! Datsu getting that ground jump with literally his last bomb.
Clutch. Yeah, fire is both bow and hovers locked. And Axe is going to kill Volve and probably not climb. Very nice Snarky doing the mega flip in Jabu and skipping Big Octo. And actually like all of the other checks, which is nice. Very nice.
Oh, nice. Getting first try for that too. That strat's a little bit easier on VC since pause buffering can be really gross there.
GTG.
Poggers. That's a fantastic.
So, do you think that Datsu will do a hookshot-less finish? Because he technically can.
Technically can. We'll see also how many keys he has. He's definitely going to go and start and should do some extra checks here. But I think he probably would go for it. Though I'm trying to think if there are any that he could do right now. Like, could he beat the game without hookshot?
You can beat Morpha and Bongo Bongo without it.
There's our bow
in GTG. Right side. Yeah, more and more. Oh, and an ice trap. Very nice. Looking like Datsu may actually do hookshotless. I can't believe both of them are at bottom of the well. That's amazing.
That's fantastic, and I love it. Datsu debating resetting there.
Hard debate, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Well, because he wants to keep the bow.
Yeah. And you can get there now that he's found hover boots. You can get there without using a key, since you can do a hover slide from the top section in order to get there. But that would require him to get far more bombs, as well as fire
arrows! Snarky's dream. She can do FAE.
Oh, Pog. Fire arrow entry confirmed. Another shield. Cool.
I'm telling you, shields happen when you need them.
I'm very intrigued by what Datsu is planning on doing, because he doesn't have any bombs. So is he planning on using Choose somewhere to do a ground jump? That's a nice setup for that. Oh, though it didn't work, so never mind. I take back the part where I said that was a nice setup. I retract that statement. Actually, that was a nice setup.
Oh yes, and that's in standard. So in DDR, you can do the statue clip, which is a lot less complicated in DDR because you can ISG, you can do other momentary anti-grav things that is not really allowed in standard.
And especially now that they found hover boots, there's a method that's a lot faster too. It also skips you having to climb all the way up to the top, where you have to do for the glitchless strat. You don't have to do that at all. You can just do it from the first time you get to the main room.
Getting another bottle, nice. I wonder if Dotso will do the looks like going back. He's going to do the recoil to get into yep, he's going to do the recoil to get into the four chests back behind the strength 2 block. So he created a video for this. I have tried to follow. I will never be able to follow. I don't understand how he does this, but he's going to pull it off, probably.
What do you mean? There's such good visual cues behind that wall. You can totally see what you're doing. Though technically he has lens, so he actually could be able to see what he's doing.
And first try, of course. Very nice.
And I didn't actually see, but Snarky is in bottom of the well now. I didn't see if she got the Kuko dive.
I mean, I'm even without seeing it, we know the answer. Titties.
We know the answer. Titties, Pog.
Dotso finding double defense in one of the chests. I think I feel so much better now that Snarky is going to get both of her hook shots in bottom of the well after having to go through Jabu and finding nothing. So, much better.
I would say it's a 50-50 shot, but it's really not. Jabu has 4 items in it, so it's a very much not nearly as item dense as bottom of the well is.
Mm-hmm. I also didn't realize Axe's screen was so skewed the entire time, and no one mentioned it to me.
I know what you're talking about. Looks fine on my end.
Well, because like you can see her border, and yes, it looks fine to you though.
Mm-hmm.
And if someone says something and I never saw it, then whoopsies.
We do know for checking the way of the hero, I'm pretty sure that logically the all the bomb bags were locked behind the one in CAC, since we know that we found one in bottom of the well, and we found one behind the bombable wall in Fountain. So I think that all of the other bomb bags were bomb locked, or at least logically bomb locked. Which means that it can be the way of the hero for CAC.
So it looks like Dotso is over here in Lake. I wonder if they had set Pierre's child so that they could do shoot the sun. Although it looks like they're about to miss their opportunity to get irons.
And to be fair, right now has no hook shot, so...
Oh, yeah, because it was Sage that went to bottom of the well, not Dotso.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's okay, Snarky, stick it out. You will get your hook shot and then long shot relatively.
Yeah, bottom of the well, definitely worthwhile in this seed. Long shot is something that isn't usually required in DDR, since the only real use for it is in Water Temple. That is really required. But you can skip that in DDR by doing a hover slide, where you do a super slide and then just put on hover boots. So someone like Dotso, if they do get there, would likely not even bother using the long shot at all. However, in order to access Water Temple, you do need a hook shot in order to open the door. And it's unlikely you'd go in here, get one hook shot, and then not find the other. Unless you realize that, that it's not going to save you any time and you just save warp out after the first one, which I could see some of the players do.
There we go, hook shot number 1. Oh, Snarky, come on. It's your favorite place in the world. Why would you do that? She did not like that location. She's not going to like it even more with this second one.
Yeah, if she doesn't like it now, it's going to be interesting.
The bomb bag did not make it better. Let's see if the long shot is 3rd time's the charm.
I mean, I don't know if it's likely to work at this point. She seems kind of upset. It could work, though, but it seems like kind of a long shot. I'll see myself out.
No, don't leave me. Dotso unfreezing King Zora. Third one, not the charm, apparently. But she throws her hands up like, come on!
She throws her hands up in the air sometimes. We saw Dotso there go for also the super easy clip we mentioned. You literally target the wall and jump slash. And that is the extent of what you need to do for that trick. It is exactly as easy as it looks.
And I don't believe there was anything on King Zora that I remember. So Dotso going to get fire arrows, I believe, from here, if I remember correctly.
This one
but you still need. Oh, he does have magic.
Yeah, I think this was a bigger bomb bag. I think fire arrows was Baronade Heart.
Baronade? Okay. What was here? Bomb bag. That's the other bomb bag. So yes, we have 3 bomb bags now. I'm pretty sure we had seen 3.
Yes. This seed is indeed the bomb.
Shake my head.
Appropriate reaction.
Yes. And I wonder if Dotso is going to try to peek underneath the. Without scales, I don't know. It's always really difficult for me, but looks like he's going to give it a trot. I'm definitely going to see nothing, so hopefully you see something if he sees something, or he just gives up.
No. I think it was blue. That's about all I got.
I hope he doesn't think it's long shot or a hook shot. Because we know we're both even
bother. I personally never bother checking that item because I play on EverDrive, so I can't see that far down.
Oh, shooting gallery check. I don't think we've seen this one yet since we've only recently got Bo. I believe you, Curry. If you say you did, then we did, for sure.
Yeah, for sure. We're not even going to bother double-checking that and just assume it was true. Yeah. So coming here to Dotso and Ice Cavern, get the best spot in order to get spike traps in order to freeze.
And just an extra shout out for our trackers. Tracking is very difficult, especially when there are 4 streams and listening to commentary. We're like, oh, I'm so hype about this. I'm like, wait a minute, that was my person. I have to mark something. Damn it. And I will also plug our volunteers. So if you would like to commentate or track for any of our restreams, please feel free to sign up with this Google Sheet. We are more than happy to have more volunteers for all of our races. English is not necessary to commentate, even if it is your primary language. Just saying. And we do have season 4 for the standard tournament coming up, which will definitely be needing more commentators and trackers. So please volunteer if you're able to, and we would love to have you join our team.
And while we're plugging stuff, if you are liking the look of this rule set and want to try it out, there's a channel in the Discord for DDR discussion where you can hop on, and all of the people who have fun breaking seeds apart will be more than happy to help teach you everything you want to know about tricks and glitches and various other things that you want to learn about this game. In particular, we've mentioned Dotso a couple times. If there isn't a setup for a trick and you mention to him, he'll just hop on and make one in about 5 minutes. We don't know how he does it.
I can't believe you just weird.
Ooh, actually,
like
we see Dotso here going for a ledge clip. There's a specific frame when Adult Link is grabbing onto a ledge that you're partially in the ledge itself. If you retarget on that frame, it pushes you far enough inbounds that you can just hop out of bounds. Oh, Key finally woke up. Morning, Key.
Hello! How are you feeling today with your move? Hopefully much better. And Sage showing the nice parts of having a hook shot is weird shotting, and also doing it bufferless.
With long shots, even better too.
Yeah, it's true. Who needs keys?
The funny thing is, I think Sage might even have enough keys to go there, but for the swag.
Because why not?
It also might
Snarky
be
going fire.
Fire dance game.
Hopefully she will go to the top so that she can get magic.
But the real magic was friendship.
Alright. I'm going to give you a My Little Pony name. You mentioned that so often. I'm going to think about this one.
Ooh, poggers. If in chat you've got a good My Little Pony name for me, be sure to post it. Oh, that's awesome, Key. I hope you like your new place. Oh, and we'll see here. Sage might be... nope, not going for water. Never mind.
Nope. Even though they could, we believe. They don't have a Navi call though. So
they could Ocarina Dive.
You know what? If they set Pierre's Child, they're probably going to wait out Time of Day and get Iron Boots. That's a good play too.
Mm-hmm.
It does not seem like that bad. They may actually make it. And
I definitely feel that, Key.
With on Dotso. don't think anything of worth, maybe?
I didn't notice anything important in there. I think that might have given Prelude, which is not really super useful. It's nice. It's nice to have early on, but at this point of the game, Prelude is it's fine, I guess.
Datsu being the only one that has magic to use Dins, and not having Nocturne or a hookshot to get up there is really hurtful. Are those sirens?
Yes, I live next to a highway. So, do we hear sirens all the time? Also, pick tow trucks.
Ooh, so Ice had Nocturne. Okay. So, Datsu, you were the only one of our runners that have magic. You can totally use that Din's Fire and complete Shadow, because you also have a bow.
Does not have hookshot either, so that Nocturne would be needed. So yeah, so for Tally, and we posted the DDR link, but at this point in the season, probably good to remention anyway. DDR is a glitched rule set designed for OoT Randomizer. It allows you to do a lot of the quality of life glitches that exist in the game, while avoiding some of the most potent glitches. These include things like item manipulation and wrong warp that really just bust a sea completely open. But it lets you do a lot of fun movement tech and a lot of quirkier things that are in this game. If you check the link, it'll have a full list of everything that's allowed and that isn't allowed. And it definitely hasn't been updated recently to fix an issue that we didn't realize.
Wait, Datsu has not been Castle? Has it only been Sage, Axe, and Snarky? Does Snarky even... Yeah, Snarky went Castle.
Yeah, I think Datsu's the only one who hasn't gone Castle yet.
All he will find is a bow, of which he already has. I wonder what he's looking for. Or that he thinks he needs, other than the hookshots, which we know where they are.
Oh yes, and to answer Key's question, this seed is definitely interesting. They had a very early bomb bag, which was fantastic with Man on Roof. Both of the hookshots that we found, and so both the hookshots in the game, are in Bottom of the Well, which is a fun one. But so far, this seems to be a decently nice seed. Unless you want Kokiri Sword.
Then 50. Oh no, Frogs too, sorry. And then Sage getting Pierre to get the irons to go in with iron boots, which is not a bad idea, because although you can get in there without them, depending on where the boss key is located, such as if it's in Central Pillar, you kind of do actually want those iron boots.
And Snarky also going for the super old setup for this clip. She got it though, but there is a much easier version for that clip that exists now.
But also, whatever works. I mean, a lot of these are inputs that you memorize. So if it's something that you've already memorized, it's better to hold on to it, because trying to relearn something is super hard.
Oh yes, there are enough tricks that you might as well spend the time learning a new one, instead of relearning something you already know.
Mm-hmm. So I hope Snarky is going to climb all the way so that she gets the only magic we've seen thus far. We'll see if we find another magic here in water. Otherwise, the only other places it could be left would be Spirit or Forest.
Wow, Key only knowing a boomer strat? What are the chances? I give it 100%, but
muscle memory is something to really rely on, except when it shoots you in the foot.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess we hope that Datsu will go to Shadow Oh, of the three, so Spirit, Shadow, and Forest are the 3 dungeons we have yet to see. There is going to be no surprise to anyone if there is a magic locked in Shadow, which means that everyone will have to go to highest score on to get that first magic. And then they really will be coming after you with pitchforks.
Yes, they would.
So
as for
in
who is
terms
ahead,
of
it's
who
really
is
tough to say.
ahead. That is. Dazo is ahead because he has magic, but he does not have his hook shots or long shot, which technically is not that big of a deal. However, that is allowing Sage to get a dungeon ahead. And if there is another magic readily available, I would probably say Sage is ahead, potentially. But yeah, I don't know. This is pretty tough. All 4 of them are in very nice spots because Snarky has both the hook shots as well. So as long as she continues to climb Deep Fire after Volve and gets magic, then she's also in a very nice spot as well. Axe is going to get her hook shots, so now she's pretty much up on par with Snarky. So I think it really will come down to wherever that second magic is. And magic cannot be in a foolish location. Even if it has to be in a area that is locked by first magic, which is essentially only really Shadow Temple.
Well, and Wasteland Chest, which we do know is foolish.
Yes,
which would be amazing.
But I don't think it can be in foolish location though.
Yeah, I'm not certain for all of the details, but it's possible.
But I mean, you can get that with quick put away as child.
Yes. So in this case, it would be one of the ones that if it actually is in that location, it would be a bad spot to get a foolish hint and DDR because you could just get that without getting magic first.
So we either need our second magic or mirror shield to essentially determine who's actually going to be in the lead. Because all 4 of them are pretty much on par with each other now. For different reasons. Whether you have long shot or whether you have magic. And Snarky loves doing this strat to weird shot underneath the stage for Volvagia to damage the hitbox prior to starting the fight. To make it go a little bit quicker. Also a swag strat.
It is also swag. It does require you to, weird shot though. So that can be a little bit tricky to do if you are on something that doesn't pause buffer well. So on emulator, this can be really difficult for learning. There are bufferless strats that people go for. I've never personally been able to make it work, but it is something that is possible.
And there we go. That's what Volvagia looks like when hiding underneath the stage. Oh, where was Lens?
Oh, Lens was like pretty early. I remember it was like at a somewhat gross location. It was very, very early though.
All right, Axe probably feeling good about getting long shot. And Snarky about to do a very shortened fight after damaging that hitbox with Volvagia.
We see on Sage's side also that doing a bunch of weird shots in order to access these chests early.
So that was that bombable wall?
I think that was the block.
Central bow target.
Yeah, the center bow.
I'm like, what looks like that small chest?
Is that? Oh, you're right, because you can't use your
that's actually not that bad.
Thing. Dotso's actually using here a technique called put away OI, where you put away the bottle and click another item like one frame later, in order to access in order to be able to play a bunch of items as though they were ocarinas. The reason he's doing that is because he wanted to warp away, but you aren't able to use the fairy ocarina in there. And for someone who's so consistent at it, it's faster to do that than to leave and then use your ocarina.
And Snarky is leaving away from the only magic that we are aware of right now. But it seems to be following Sage with the same kind of path and probably going to do water. And she's going to do a negative flip or Hess to get across. What is she doing?
Looks like she's definitely doing mega side hop. Just you can. I think the goal there is usually you do that to extend into a water extended super slide or a Wes, which is another form of movement that's the same speed as a Hess and as a super slide. But I don't know if she was trying to go for that or just trying to get the extra little bit of distance because swimming is slow.
So Bolero in the Royal Tomb. So we know that Sun Song is on OoT. Burning Cack is either going to be Song of Time or Minuet. The other song I guess we haven't seen would be... What one have we missed?
Oh, yes, I think Prelude. I think you were correct because I think Prelude is...
Yes.
The Forest Medallion is beating Morpha.
Okay,
so we'll
then that would be... It can't be Song of Time then? Actually, can it be Song of Time because of key logic? Actually, it's going to have to be because both Prelude and Burning Cack require Forest Medallion, so it can. It has to, yeah. That's also another way to meta is, do you require Song of Time, is to find out what song location is it at, and is it available with completing the dungeon. So, Dobby, what are your thoughts on having open or closed Deku? Do you feel it was helpful or did not matter?
In this case, I think it didn't really matter, especially with how early they found bombs. You would get all of our players, I think, would be fairly confident to do one of the many methods you can use to skip it. So, some of our players already had bombs by the time they went there. So I don't think it made a huge difference in this seed. And they were definitely going to go there regardless because they needed a stone. So I personally don't think it made a huge difference in this case, that they would have gone for it anyway. I'm not sure what your thoughts were, though.
I'm going to say it doesn't really matter because I think this was a good seed to kind of show that having closed Deku is more of a pain, since you would have to do some type of Mido skip. Because no one wants to get your sword on Frogs 2.
No one would bother doing that. Oh,
but
perfect.
Also, there was not really. Now we can finish the game. Now Bongo's in logic. But yeah, I don't think it added any value. Ooh, Sage finding Naru's love, which is also extremely helpful if you need some help hessing or mega flipping. And looks like he's going to be doing entrance point glitch to skip the Song of Time block.
Yeah, Dotso also DQ'd.
Because he played the song. Ah, yeah, come on. Song.
And he'll be like, yeah, time of day didn't line up. It's not that's not how it works.
That is not how it works. You are meant to wait it out, like the rest of us. So, since you know the technicalities of this, do you want to explain entrance point glitch, Dobby?
Sure, I can do my best. So what they're doing there is the game when you're doing entrance point glitch, you're causing the game to kind of load two rooms at the same time, but it doesn't do it very well. It kind of goes through and it has to skip loading some objects when it does that. Very similar to if you're familiar with actor glitch in Bottom of the Well. And one of the things that it doesn't do properly is that block that's a Song of Time block. That one does not get loaded properly into the when you do the entrance point glitch, and you can just jump right through it. More specifically, I think you're using the movement from the hover boots for technique. Actually, your hover boosting technically, and using that in order to get far enough away from the door that it's not sure what room should be loaded.
We're also finding Speed Frog down there. So interesting.
Speed Frog Pog.
Still no second magic. Also, Snarky opting to get Iron Boots as well. Definitely not a bad play. It's right there.
This is also one of those cases that since you know it's there, it's going to be faster to do that than to do some of the tricks to skip it. You can skip most of the iron, or I think all of the Iron Boot requirements in Water Temple by doing some ledge clips like we saw Dotso do in Ice Cavern. You can do that same kind of thing in order to access pretty much every single chest in Water Temple. But doing so is pretty slow since you have to redo the glitch every single time. Looks like Snarky might be going for the ledge clip though, even though she has Iron Boots. Does she have Zelda's Lullaby? Yeah, she. So not entirely sure why she's going for this. It might just be for the swag, which we like some good swag.
We all applaud.
Ooh, that almost clipped back in bounds. That was a little bit nervous there. Yeah, it's definitely a little bit nerve-wracking where that other magic is. Snarky going for some bingo strats here, where you get in order to access this compass just early.
Gotta learn some of these. They look so easy, but they're so useful too.
Mm-hmm. It's definitely one that this particular version, this ledge clip, is super versatile because it allows you to do get pretty much any check in the Water Temple that you want.
Sage doing a very quick Morpha, turned away, and all of a sudden she's dead. So one medallion left. Of those options, you can actually technically Sage has no options because they need magic, but you could do Spirit, Shadow, Spirit or Shadow. Yeah, just those two. So you need magic for Shadow because even though you can hookshot jump up there, Nocturne is not needed. You do technically need to light the torches. We have not seen anything for Mirror Shield yet, so you could go a Hail Mary and try and hope that Mirror Shield is in Spirit, or you could check Forest, which is a stone dungeon, is not going to do anything but just give you checks. So this may be like a check density type of area, which I would probably choose Spirit since it's easy to get to.
And you do need to clear Spirit anyway in order to possibly beat it. So I personally would definitely pick Spirit over Forest.
Mm-hmm. And Dotso about to get first hookshot. Now, whether they stay or not is going to be interesting because now Dotso has everything he needs.
Oh, for sure. He could 100% clear the seed now.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, he's dipping.
Yeah. He didn't even want to get long shot. It's fine. It's not needed.
And he just marked that he's in go mode, so
yep.
He's well aware that he's got everything he needs to beat the seed right now. So we'll see. Currently, Dotso is the only one that's in go mode. He is a dungeon behind Sage right now. So Sage, depending how long it takes him to find a magic, could be What are you doing, Sage?
Is he trying
Clipping
to
into Lakeside Lab? Maybe this is to get to Fountain.
Yeah. Yep, to get to Fountain. And hopefully you fall back inbounds. There you go.
was a little bit nervous there because there is an old strat in order to access Water Temple by doing that late side lab clip.
There is also another method to get here by doing a, I think, a distance mega flip by clipping back through their similar setup towards the lab. Sage is just going to be disappointed by getting Nocturne, and unfortunately nothing else of worth by going in this area.
Him having prescription does make it nice in order to do a super easy strat in order to unload the red ice around King Zora. You can just backwalk up the stairs, and as long as you're within, like, I think you're basically, as long as you're within the last third, you can pull out the prescription, leave and come back, and the red ice will be gone. And we do see here the super easy clip we mentioned. Literally that easy.
So do you think Second Magic will be in Deep Shadow or in another dungeon yet not seen?
I think Deep Shadow has a decent chance. I might go just for the fun and think it's in Forest Temple. That would be also a funny one that I don't think any of our players would go there. Oh, Magic Locked in Spirit. Oof. That's also a neat one. Though that one, yeah, I think for a lot of the Magic ones there, you can skip, or you can get them first without being intended to. So that one could be interesting as well.
So happy 2 hours. I don't know if we said that.
Oh yes, happy 2 hours.
Why does it feel like so much longer than 2 hours?
It's all the jokes. All the puns just make it seem like it takes forever. I'm kind of curious why Dotso has the Lens of Truth. Maybe he's doing this for this. I mean, sure. Guess if you have magic, might as well do the Truth Spinner the intended way.
I mean, at this point, maybe he's just going for speed. Like, he's just trying to go as quickly as possible. I actually wonder, as soon as he gets a key and the boss key, is he just going to gate clip and skip the rest of the dungeon and not even let us know if potentially magic is even here?
There's a very strong chance if he finds the boss key early that he would just go do that. He knows he doesn't need any more items, so he's not going to be concerned. There is a good chance that he feels behind since those hook shots were in bottom of the well, so they're able to be accessed pretty early. So he might feel that other people found those hook shots well before he did and have been able to clear dungeons for a while, even though, at least for the ones that we have on Restream, that wasn't really the case. For the most part, people put it off for a while.
Yeah, and that magic is really the saving grace for the seed.
Mm-hmm. Or at least on Dotso's end. Everyone else, it's the bane of their existence.
Yes. Pretty much. Well, he does have a key. What was also nice is that you get rewards. Oh yeah, he's setting it by where you would gate clip. Yep, he's definitely going to as soon as he gets boss key. Wonder, has Snarky full cleared water yet?
I don't believe
no,
so.
They're about to get boss key. Yep. Never mind. I've been trying to pay attention to everyone, but Dotso is the one doing new checks, so I'm paying more attention to them right now to see new things.
See if we can find that magic.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Long shot
Dotso
is a
definitely knows he
suggestion.
can get through water with just hook shot, 100%.
Yes. Oh yeah, especially since you have hovers.
I mean, I know I could get through the entirety of Water Temple with just hook shot, so Dotso will definitely be fine.
Looks like Snarky is going to do another weird shot, which is the same thing that Sage had done to get the boss key. Very nice. Natsu could do hookshot and ironless. You don't technically need irons to get this. You can lower the water level. Pog, very nice, Snarky.
Pog.
And there's Natsu gate clipping, so I guess the boss key was relatively early then in that big room. With the invisible spike, right? The invisible blade? The light blade room.
Yeah.
Same room, different name. However, we remember it by most pain. So I guess the world will never know if the second magic is in Deep Shadow.
Maybe some of our other runners will go there. We'll find out. We can always hope.
One can dream. They
Worst
can't
comes to
get
worst,
there
we can
without
always
the other
check the
magic.
spoiler log afterwards and find out.
Yes. That's actually a really fair point, Key. We've talked about it quite a lot, but I really highly doubt Sage is going to go back to Deep Fire. So, of these players, Sage is the most likely about to get Nocturne 2 to do Child Shadow.
Yeah, because you would need Nocturne to be able to do that since they have a strength, so they wouldn't be able to get up there as Kid without Nocturne. So we can hope, because that would be beautiful. I think also the location that we found for the BK, I think you can get that. That's one of the checks you can get quite fairly easily as a kid. So. Yeah, super slide teleporting is allowed, but they do have strength, so they can't do it. People were joking that people would go for it as like Sphere Zero, go and dip in there, but so far that hasn't really been the case. No one's really gone for it. Please do. That can be your thing. Dotso has Sphere Zero Requiem. You can have Sphere Zero. Well, technically, be Sphere 1. Sphere 1 Shadow.
And Sage getting Nocturne, so looking for something maybe? What are you doing with bombs?
Come on, Sage. We want you to go for it. Believe in the heart of the Shadow Temple with QQA. If you do that, Sage, it will redeem you, and from your not cuckoo diving into bottom of the well.
Oh my god, was that 20 Skulls' mirror shield?
He's probably going to go for that instead. How dare you? Now I'm disappointed in you, Gossip Stone.
Oh my god. 20 is not that bad. Has no one been checking skulls? Let's see. Axe and Snarky have 10. Dotso is the only one that has 20, I think. I don't even think Sage has... Oh, Sage has 15. Oh, you are hard going for just 5 more skulls then.
I'm disappointed that he found that. I was really hoping for Shadow.
Damn. Well, this is a race then, because... how many does Dotso have? 1, 2... He needs to do water, which he's doing now. So Dotso's still in the lead, but Sage is going to put up a good fight. And if Snarky ends up getting her 20 skulls, then she's also going to be in a really good position.
Well, remember that regardless, they still need to find magic to beat Ganondorf. So they even if they do that, even if they do complete all the medallions, that's still not going to help them unless they find that magic somewhere else.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like that would be what you'd have to hope for. Like magic in spirit on like Rova.
Which is possible. We haven't seen any of Spirit, even Child's.
And we see here Dotso's doing the same step that we see Snarky did, though he actually has to do this. Snarky did it basically by choice, but Dotso does not have those iron boots, so he has to do this. He has to do this ledge clip strat. And depending how long it takes for Dotso to get this ledge clip, he might be disappointed to find out that Longshot was just in the very next chest in bottom of the well.
I don't know how disappointed he'll be, though. He's gonna be like, meh.
Me. Yeah, it would take him many tries to get this in order for it to be faster, I think. Because grabbing those iron boots still takes some time.
And Sai confirming Sage at 18 skulls. Yeah, there is no way in hell he's not going to not get Mirror Shield.
Yeah. 2 skulls is basically trivial. You probably even do that while you're clearing your other dungeon if you have one left. Like, I do appreciate the pose in Hyrule Field. Keep up with you when you Hess.
And Snarky showing the setup I mentioned earlier about distance mega flip into domain instead of doing the ledge clip that Sage had done. Doing it with Choose, no less. Choose, some say, are easier because you can count the flashes. They're a lot more distinct than bombs, since they start off pretty slow. But I don't know. I can't count, so it's probably why I'll never be able to do it.
Aren't you an engineer?
That's not relative.
Yeah, it's well known fact that engineers don't need numbers. Numbers are overrated.
I think it's more the pause buffering that just really sucks. Because if I miss the frame, it is only 1 frame. It sucks.
Well, it's 2 frames for the roll and 1 frame for the backflip.
So 1 frame.
Yes, it is 1 frame for the minimum.
And Sage just got their 20th. Yep. Now we'll get Mirror Shield and find out what's in Spirit. That's also a way of getting across.
Ooh, I like that Mirror Shield.
Dotso by damaging. It looked like a bad yellow.
I thought it looked more like a gray.
I guess we'll see when he puts it on, and also when it's not night.
Yes.
Seems like Dotso's on pace to be maybe about like a 235. That's not bad.
Depending how fast he is, might even be able to do like 230, depending how long it takes him to get that the boss key.
The bow in GTG was right side. There was also a bow on Lullaby Chest in Castle. I don't know if we saw a third.
Yeah, I don't remember a third. I think those are the only two we found so far.
One may have been an ice cavern, actually. Maybe. Axe collecting skulls, that will be to her benefit. Wait, did she get the hint since that was in Fountain? She must have seen the hint then that Mirror Shield's on 20.
Yeah, well, usually most players will check that after Ice Cavern, so she might only find it after this. I didn't see if she checked it beforehand, but usually most players don't. There you go. Now,
In Sage opting to okay, Sage opting not to go to child side first and just going straight adult.
It's a bold move, Cotton. We'll see if it pays off.
Yeah. Since they still need magic, which I keep constantly forgetting, I hope that they will continue to clear items to see if they'll be lucky with that second magic. Because they will have to go to Deep Fire for the only check that they orphaned. Or Pierre, which is the key. But you can get back about it. Looks like they will be gifted with the key on adult side. And what is Snarky doing? Oh, she's pushing herself through the red ice to save her bottle fire.
Literally just for the memes, because she has it on her B button. Or C button.
Keys, rude. Yeah, not worth getting tilted over, but we appreciate the swag.
Mm-hmm.
And that
We'll
was
see
a
Dotso's
super-
getting his last medallion now, so then we'll see him go to Gannon's castle. This definitely could be sub 230 if he plays well.
I think the only thing that's really keeping him from finishing sooner is cutscenes.
Yeah. What few cutscenes there are in the left.
Mm-hmm.
I can
Well, now you
guarantee you
have to be,
Dotso
like,
did not mean to
controlling
land on that.
He did. He did check validation chest. Oh, early spirit boss key.
Nice. So we'll see if he opts to go for the if he opts to try and full clear, or if he goes for statue climb, since he does still need to find magic.
Dotso picking up their boss key.
Snarky is just getting bodied by the ice keys.
Worst room in the game.
Yup. Does have a nice spike trap though, so I mean that's nice. If you need to freeze a bunch of those.
Spirit not being worth yet.
And when Dotso has enough bombs, we'll probably also see the Hess, the validation Hess, to get to Gannon's door.
know if he will.
I mean, I hope so, or else run double invalid.
No Hess, no Impress.
No impress.
Still nothing in Spirit. There still is a chance for Child Shadow.
By Child Shadow, you mean Child Spirit?
I mean, that too, but to go and do quick put away to get into Shadow is Child.
Oh, okay, then yes. We can hope. Oh, yeah. Dots are going for the Hess. It is faster. So. Yeah, with this BK layout, it's definitely possible to do all of Shadow as Child. Easy? Maybe not, but doable.
Yeah, this is definitely a battle for magic. Who's going to find it first? Otherwise, everyone else is really on the same path. Although Axe is a dungeon behind Sage and Snarky at the moment. But she can fix that with either Spirit or Water, both of which she's probably going to end up doing.
Yeah. Especially with that mirror shield location, yeah.
Yeah, she's very good at skull routing, so I guarantee that she would just go for that. Ooh,
There's that
scale. Well, we knew that one. The left hand. I got excited. I'm like, oh, that was hinted. And then it's just a heart piece on the arch. And the key. And Dotso very well may be getting sub 230.
Oh, yeah. I anticipate it. It does not take 5 minutes to beat Gannon. Especially since he pulled out Hammer, so he's probably going to be doing ISG with Hammer. Or just crouch stabbing is also possible. Just crouch stabbing.
Yeah, 6 and 1/2 dozen the other. Axis Snarky getting Nocturne at the same time. And I guess she's thinking where she can go for magic. And I don't think she saw the hint then for 20 Skulls being Mirror Shield.
That could be bad then. If she warps away from here completely and doesn't see that hint.
And she did. But that she still needs magic though, so I mean it's okay. Shadow was relatively quick with key layout, so it's not the worst thing in the world, and magic is way more important than Mirror Shield unless we find magic in Spirit, which we have not thus far. So yeah. Otherwise, it's probably not going to harm her at all.
Yeah. The 20 hint was in the Gossip Zone that's just to the right of the exit from Ice Cavern. And Dotso finishing. GG.
Jeez. Very nice.
Easily clinching that sub 230. Oh yeah, that mirror shield's gorgeous for Sage. Almost like a silver.
Ooh, yeah, now I can see it. Looks like Dotso will be joining us for an interview. So let me see if he's put himself in a voice channel. I can then drag him in.
Datso probably can put himself in the can he?
He does not have a commentator.
Oh, it's one of the few roles he actually doesn't have, apparently. I thought he was doing a collect them all kind of thing.
Yeah, Dev does not, unfortunately, give you that access. Although maybe that's something that we can ask. GG's, Datso. Congrats.
GG.
Hello, thank you.
So, Deep Fire, huh?
Okay. The only reason I did that was because I didn't have a hook shot. And that's why my brain hurt at the end of Fire, because I had to make sure I didn't lock myself out on keys.
It was
That
definitely
was
an
your
interesting
saving
fire
grace.
location.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That, even though it may hurt your brain, it hurts us worse because we still have not found the other magic.
Oh no.
So, literally, that is what everyone else is just looking for at this point.
That's funny.
How worried were you when you saw those the hook shot in bottom of the well?
A little bit, just because it's like that's a really early play that you can make.
To
You'll
make
also
that
be
better,
happy
your
to
long
know
shot
that
is, your long shot is one check later in the basement.
literally next check.
Nice. Well, it saved me like 20 seconds going down there.
Yes, because as we were saying earlier, long shot is not a requirement, just a suggestion, but it was also hilarious that they were both there.
Yeah. We did see a lot of the players, what they ended up doing is grabbing that long shot and using it to grab the iron boots that was on shooting the sun. So they had that for water, which saved them some time.
Mm. I forgot that those were there.
We also found that there was a hint for Mirror Shield on 20 Skulls.
That's cute.
Yes. So Sage is about to finish Spirit of... Yeah, we have still not found magic. There are 2 checks on child side that Sage has yet to do, but otherwise full cleared Spirit on adult side. And since you gate clipped with very nice key loud...
Oh, well, there's that magic.
Oh, there it is.
My
Never
God.
mind. Wow, saved. Never mind. I was going to say we don't know if the magic was magic locked in Deep Shadow, but never mind. It was on Troll Ruba, because why not?
Of course.
That's so silly.
Never
So
punished. Never punished. That was Sage's 5th medallion dungeon, too. So, yeah, they're about to be joining you very shortly.
Yeah, those both magics were absolutely terrible. We were kind of sad though with that the Sage got the hint for the Mirror Shield on the 20 Skulls, and we are kind of sad because we were hoping he might go for a QPA Shadow as child. But of course, finding that just made no sense to go for that.
Yeah, I was debating hook shot was Shadow, and I could have done it, but I didn't want to.
And then Lord of Spell also bringing up that you use the song to enter bottom of the well. So obviously your punishment is that you find your hook shot.
Yeah.
Because you use this song.
You're also
Okay.
cute in our hearts, but you know.
I had 11 double defense hearts. I wasn't going to die.
Sai asking a spirit logic question. This was something we were talking about earlier. Is technically that magic locked? I don't remember if there was a key on Compass chest because I don't know if we did it because Sage did not push the chest. I mean, to push the Armos statue to get that chest. I don't remember how many keys he finished with, but there
also
is
didn't check child side.
Yeah, there is a potential that could have been magic locked.
Yeah, it depends on where the keys are.
So if you finish with 4, we don't know if there was a key on Child Side, which would just require Child Side. Although Requiem was super easy. Spirit Logic is very stupid. So Dato, what were your thoughts on having open Deku this time around?
It had nothing in it, so kind of didn't care. How to choose, I guess, but I don't know.
And a strength, but I think you literally never used that. Oh no, you did. You ended up using it in Water Temple, though you could have skipped it.
I don't know. I don't notice anymore, especially in DDR. Like, it just changes the opening, really. But it can make the way of the hero and the logic really stupid. Like, baits for swords and all that kind of thing.
Oh, yeah, and especially in this one.
Kokiri's sword on frogs, too.
Yeah. That would have been super gross.
Nobody would have gotten it.
No.
No.
Especially with how early the bomb bag was. So.
Yeah. I don't know. I'd rather have it as the free option than not. Because for us, it kind of doesn't matter. And worst case scenario, you just learn Mito Skip. Like, you can just do it with a stick. It's just really gross. So it's kind of pointless for us, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think we were trying to have it be closed, have more of a, I guess, to not make it like you have to trick to get through, even though I think the majority of us will. But for newer players that want to get into DDR, if it's a closed Deku and Kokiri's sword is in a really awful location like this one, it kind of is more of a deterrent.
Yeah.
So it's not really that important. What was it, like the 7% difference in like having a significant item in Deku, whether it's open or closed? It's not really worth it.
Yeah, something like that. I think the detriment outweighs the benefit. Because in reality, you never need the sword. Because you can just do it with a stick. But that trick is gross. So now you're going to perceptively give new people, hey, here's a really awful thing you have to learn to be competitive. And it's just like, it doesn't help anybody.
And it's true. What Keymaker's saying that the big difference is just the availability of Gannon's castle, which even then doesn't make a huge difference because, you might just start with a stone and you're fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. Axe doing the 2 spirit checks, probably also skull routing. So, depending on if Snarky decides to go, and finding strength too. Wow.
Convenient.
That's convenient. Yeah, everyone finished, everyone so far has had only 1 strength. So that's the first one we found. And giving GG's to Sage, as they are also doing their finishing blow. Yes, Snarky getting hover boots. She has not been very happy with a lot of these in the entire seed.
Yeah. What did you think about the hint for bow that you found in GTG? Were you at all worried about that? About it being a bow lock, though?
A little bit, but not really. Because I figured that was the way of the hero, even though it was hover boots, I think.
Well,
I will say that the keys in GTG were the weirdest layout I've ever seen.
Your route was amazing going through there. Like, back and forth like 3 times.
I was going to be mad if the silver block stuff didn't have like useful crap in it, like a key or a bow. Because then I would have had to go all the way back around again to Hess to the like little platform.
Oh yeah, you mean like the hover slide to get to the right side?
Yeah, but I didn't have any bombs, so I'd had to hess off a chew.
Oof, that would have been some fun.
I thought about doing GTG as child. I think that was the actual play because you could just do the entire maze for free.
Yeah, that's true because we found like choose super early, so you could super easily do that.
Or just
It's
not
just
do
so
GTG
slow.
until later. So Sage and now Snarky both weird shotted their way all the way across because they both had long shot.
Oh, and GG's to egg.
GG egg.
Apparently, everybody did Rova into magic.
Yeah, that's seriously it saved everyone who did not do deep fire then. Like
Yeah.
Where was the hint?
In Fountain. For Mirror
Like
Shield, you
right
mean?
outside ice.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, the one by Jabu.
The one I didn't read.
Yeah. Snarky
We have
neither.
not seen. Yeah, Snarky did not read it. She decided to Nocturne warp out of Ice Cavern after getting the song. I don't know what Axe is. Oh, Axe is practicing mega flips right now.
Probably while waiting for time of day for Dompe.
Yeah.
Press the A button for Legion
alright.
Snarky.
I will bring in Sage if it will let me. There we go. GG, Sage.
GG.
Hello. GG.
You were bailed hard.
What is
That
mean?
lucky magic too. Oof, that was.
Oh yeah, I figured it must have been somewhere earlier.
Deep fire.
Oh,
Yeah,
deep fire.
that's how early it was. Highest Goron.
Oh dang. I didn't want to do that because I knew it was a key up top, and I couldn't. No, I didn't have hookshot when I was there.
I did it specifically because I didn't have hookshot. Opposite idea.
Oh dang. I figured, hey, highest Goron's never anything. It's just one check.
And that was magic.
Nice.
Yeah. So, how did you like your hookshot and then long shot locations?
That was cool. Could be worse, I suppose. Could be better, could be worse.
We do see Axe, meanwhile, getting ISG. So, no, she can't be going for the Cuckoo dive because Cuckoos aren't out at night.
And then she already has done that. But yeah, we were shaming you earlier, Sage, because you played the song, and then we're reminded that you did try, and then I guess failed the first time, and then the only part we noticed was the song, and then we were going to DQ you, but you know what? We'll allow it this time because you did actually try.
Yeah, Data though is DQ'd in our minds. In our hearts.
I figured at the point where I made the chickens angry, it was just faster to play the song.
Oh.
Ooh, Snarky. What happened? Oh no. Retro.
Did Snarky have internet issues? Or?
What is the curse today? Axe was having major internet issues in the beginning. And then thankfully it came back around. But yeah, we've been having a lot of internet problems today.
Well, usually I'm the one with internet problems.
The two of you were perfect. No issues whatsoever. But overall, what did you think of the seed, Sage? And please direct your hate to Dobby. Dobby rolled it, not me.
The seed was fine, except for the magic. Which, that's how it goes.
Yeah, I think overall, early bombs, super early bombs, which was really nice for this seed.
Mm-hmm.
And like the mirror shield location is actually pretty decent. It's just no one ever does it.
I'm just thinking, like, if I had gone to highest Goron when I was there, how long was I looking for magic and nothing else? That sucks.
Quite a while. Because you also had the ability, like you had Din's fire and fire arrows. So
yeah, I would have run right into Shadow.
Mm-hmm.
Rip. Oh well, that's cool.
It's.
I mean, you did find the
retro-
hint for the mirror shield, so that ended up really, really helping since Magic ended up being on Twin Rova.
Yeah, that was helpful.
We were slightly worried you were going to Statue High Clip and just like rush through the dungeon.
I could have, but since I was still looking for magic, I figured I might as well do the checks.
Mm.
I'm glad you remembered about magic.
Why did somebody forget?
Oh, Shiro. Shiro was mentioning that you're pretty close behind Dotso because all you need to do was find Mirror Shield and you're done. I'm like, but it ended up being actually the case. So Shiro didn't make a mistake. She was actually predicting the location of magic.
Ah, yeah, that makes sense. It's clairvoyant.
Or it's just like subliminal messaging, like go spirit, go spirit.
Hmm.
And then it paid off.
Yeah. So with that Mirror Shield hint, well, we were kind of hoping, Sage, that you'd go for QPA Shadow. We were kind of hoping for that, and then you found the hint for Mirror Shield at 20. We're like, that's not happening anymore.
Well, it's unlikely that magic is going to be in Shadow.
No.
So I probably wouldn't have, even if I hadn't known Mirror Shield was on 20.
We can still hope, though.
Yeah, you could.
In this case, from what we saw from Dotso, based on the locations of the BK and like the small key, it definitely also would have been doable as child.
Oh yeah.
I don't know how to get on the boat without hovering as child.
Yeah, I'd have to look up the video on the fly.
Is that one of your videos, Dotso, or is that one that like?
No, I think that's
back-
top 6.
Oh, Tob has, yeah. I could see Tob having that for a bingo.
No, toxic.
Oh, toxic.
Yeah, like ER logic.
Oh, yeah, that would make sense too then.
Or which logic, I guess.
It takes me all the way. I want you to stay.
I don't know what happened to Snarky. She's going offline on Twitch, but it's not forfeited. So I don't know if this is like an internet like thing or something. I don't know what happened. But Axe is singing. I think Axe is going crazy trying to find magic, but she did pick up her mirror shield, so I think she'll be following the same path you did, Sage, and then we'll be rewarded on Twin Rova.
Nice.
Especially
Also, she
since
doesn't have
Axe does have strength too. So.
But she does not have a bow yet, I just realized.
Ooh. She does know, hopefully, that there's one in GTG, and at this point she can clear like everything unless it happened to be bow locked, which it wasn't in this case.
Mm. And her mirror shield is pink. Pog.
Yes. I did like Sage. I liked your mirror shield the best.
Yeah, it was a nice color.
Apparently, Axe also likes the color of her mirror shield.
I'm on restream today.
Very purple.
Hey, chat, is that
I'm
purple
sure
or
you're having
pink?
fun with
I would
this.
call it pink,
Listen,
personally.
I gotta meme it up when I'm on fucking restream. That's like, it's
Perk.
like the law. You have
Perk.
to meme it. You have to
Magenta.
You have to be a memer when you're
Fuchsia.
on the restream.
It's the same color as the C buttons, whatever that color is.
Yeah, like I probably wouldn't have if I actually thought I had like a decent chance of doing well in this race, but I've been doing pretty poorly. Oh, no, you guys, you were not here. So there are clips of me laser beam on the restream where I literally put the words "what the fuck" across the
So we got one
screen
vote for purple.
because I got strength 2 on lax, which I was like, I like forgot.
I mean, if that's what
existed or
I'm saying, it's the same
something,
colors
which
as the
makes me
C
a
buttons, and that's
dumbass,
purple.
but
I don't know, it
let's
looks
not
pink
even
to me.
discuss how dumb I am sometimes.
Yeah, I don't know if they're the
So,
same color.
That was on lax.
I think it's because the
And,
shield looks shinier.
Yeah, so I put what?
Yeah, it's hard to tell with
and
the
they
shield.
had
It's
me,
like all shiny.
They got my reaction. There's a clip of it, And then strength 2
Kind of like
was
trying
on
to tell a
that
tunic
chest,
color
and
when
the
you're in
compass
DC.
chest,
It's like,
which
okay,
means
yeah, but
strength
it's all
3
red
locked,
shifted.
which means it was strength 2 locked. And so I was like, okay, what the fuck?
You did have
It was
some
so
people at the start
fucking
who were
funny.
worried about your stream being too dark. I think is that just a
was
thing
great
from
one.
that
I was
VC
on
tends to be
restream for
darker?
that one. I was like,
I don't have an
fuck
active
this, dude.
splitter, so it's just
I
like
think
it
I
just
did
is
that
dark.
of myself because it was that good.
But I don't know. I keep trying to fix
Nobody
it,
else
and
did.
like nothing works.
Dude,
It
that
just
was
looks
my
like
first
crap
time on
always.
stream. Let's not. We don't talk
I think
about that.
it's dark on my stream, but I have like I add a filter in OBS to just brighten it up a bit. But
Oh, I do too.
oh wow,
I guess I could just crank it, but
I'm hungry and I have to pee. This is a bad combination. I should go to McDonald's. So my
Yeah,
Secret
saying she's
Santa
hungry,
got me
I
a
am
gift card to
starving.
McDonald's, and I like low key want to like.
And I'm trying to
know.
reach
I mean,
Snarky, so I don't
look at
know
clips all the time.
if she
'Cause
knows her
they make me
internet went
laugh and
down.
They cheer me
I
up when
hate
I'm
that
having
like
kind of a shitty
Guy's
day.
such a jerk.
But yeah.
that
I,
and the Tektite in water when you do it
I'm pretty
casually
sure I'm
for the
one
room
who
to
put
get to the
that,
top
and it wasn't
level. I hate
somebody
those
else,
things
'cause it
where
was
they're just
on
like, let's just
ZSR.
have this
Clip art
enemy
ZSR
fall on
is
you,
infinitely more funny than this one.
scare you as a kid.
It's not as bad as the like in
that's-
MQ Fire.
yeah.
That guy.
that's just what I was saying.
That was the first
That
time.
guy The one
I
that
saw him
steals
on
your
stream,
shield and
I
doesn't
made
give
a
it back?
complete
Yes.
dipshit of myself.
Yeah, that
In
guy's a
front of
jerk.
everybody. I was so nervous. It was just I was
That
so
guy needs to be
nervous
put
for
down.
the first time on restream, which I shouldn't have been. But I wanted to do well, and then I was like, yeah, I got wrecked hard.
Floor Masters too.
Boss key. Is there?
Though
a
to be fair,
bow
as a kid,
anywhere in this
definitely
game?
Dead Hand was
I'm
the scariest thing
curious
for
to
me.
know if there is a bow. Also, those hover boots in GTG could be.
I think it's mostly but also Gibdos. This game's scary, man. For a kids game, terrifying.
Because I did fucking.
I remember being that
love
scared by
Rambo,
this game.
by like a lot.
I would say I was gonna say that I think I was 6 when the game came out, but no, I think I was 6 when we played it, and I was 2 when the game came out. So yeah,
My first time. That was like back
sorry,
when I
4.
still was like really I wanted to be really good.
This is
and I
98.
learned a lot, like what other people thought of my skill. Now I'm just
Yeah, I
like,
think I was like
whatever.
I was like
I'm
5
not
when I
great at
played
this
the game.
And you guys are going to laugh at me, and we're all gonna laugh at each other, and it's gonna be all in good fun. So let's just have a good time. That's kind of how I play Rando now. And it seems to work out a lot better that way. I mean, shit, dude. Yesterday I went into that no logic seed like, hey, whatever, and then I fucking managed to beat Dotso somehow. Which I still can't believe happened. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I just legitimately...
And Dotso, we think the CAC way of the hero was for the bomb bag, because I think all of the bomb bags were bomb locked.
Yeah.
There was one in Bottom of the Well that I think was bomb locked by key logic, and the other bomb bag was in Fountain. At the fairy fountain.
Really like I do everything with
Oh. Where? Yeah, one of the keys was under the rubble, wasn't it? In Bottom of the Well.
I think so.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Dude, thank you.
Though I'm pretty sure we didn't find all of the Way of the Hero hints. So
I only found 3.
yeah, I think let's see how many we found. Lost Woods, CAC, and GTG. We're the only ones that we have marked down here, and I don't remember seeing any more.
Yeah, even in the asyncs, with this custom hint distribution, you often get not as many wafts as you might like. It's usually around 2 or 3.
Which does make sense because they have to be hard required, and there aren't that many hard required items when you have this many options.
Yeah.
And no songs.
I can't believe
Yeah, and no songs too.
did that movie. Like, it's kind of great.
Oops.
What? Excuse me? I just got yeeted, dude.
Though I am confused by Lost Woods the hammer requirement, because I don't think hammer was hard required. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that we found there, but
I mean, hammer did give you magic.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too.
Yeah.
all right, so
Yeah,
well,
so the other magic must be magic locks.
yeah, if that was the case, then it would explain it.
Or it's whatever's on the slingshot target, which wouldn't make any sense because we found all the other items.
Well, the other magic is on Twin Robo, which is considered magic locked by the logic, I guess. So
You're
not
logic
necessarily.
free.
I'm kind of sad that Pope
I
took
don't
the
know.
Goofy Goobers.
It depends on the
and
key
Optus
placement.
alerts. I know why he did it.
Oh yeah, that is true. That
That's
hovers
also-
were hammer locked in GTG.
Oh, that's true.
Oh.
DMC
So basically, if you needed hover boots or if that magic was key
like,
locked.
it's incredibly fucking
What are the hover boots
narcissistic
for?
of these musicians for these music
To get to Volvagia room.
to believe that the reason that we're making
Because
money
there's a
is
small key
because
there
of
that you
music
needed
and
for the rest of the
creating
dungeon.
music. And not because
Oh my
there's
God.
content that people are interested in watching.
Can we ban key logic?
Especially if we can ban
Like,
the
that's
key
what's
logic in
so
Spirit,
bad about
that
it.
would be
Like,
very
I
much
can
appreciated.
stay on and off.
Oh, it's so
I really
terrible.
should, just in case.
Welcome
ZeldaSpeedRuns
everyone from
3.
ZSR3.
I mean, if they thought
Hello.
it's about money. It's about
What stream was
greed.
on
They obviously
ZSR
want us to
3?
pay royalties or
Oh,
something
Breath of
to
the
them,
Wild, any percent
which
bi-weekly
none of us
race.
can,
Hog.
obviously.
That's your jam, Dobby.
But like,
Yeah,
the whole idea
bingo.
of copyright law is that people are not making money off of your property, of your intellectual property. Which, like,
So for everyone just joining us, you're watching the last runner on Restream who's here. We're doing the DDR weekly rule set. DDR is a glitched rule set for OT Randomizer that lets you that gives you access to a lot of the quality of life glitches that there are in this game, while avoiding some of the most game-breaking ones that completely defeat all semblance of logic. If you follow the link there, you'll have a full description of the rule set. And if you're interested in learning more, you can check the OOTR Discord. We have a server or channel on that server, DDR discussion, where we all chat about various strats and frequently get distracted by shiny objects. But usually we're more than happy to help everyone who wants to learn more about glitching this game, whether you want to do it casually or join us with races. There's a lot that you can do here.
Should be
And
noted that getting distracted by shiny objects and learning new strats are not necessarily mutually exclusive.
It is very accurate as well, yes.
Me and like my chat, but like.
And GG's neat finishing in the middle of your explanation.
It's not really an entertainment value for the restream,
Nice.
especially
GG.
to be like learning stuff. Plus, I'm also gonna sit there and pause and watch a video, and like I'm not gonna be engaging. Like, I don't actually like doing that when I'm on stream in general.
So, Sage, is there... I guess when you saw the hint for the mirror shield, we were also hoping that you would do quick put away for Shadow. Was that ever a thought?
No, not really, because the only thing I needed was magic, and Shadow is magic locked, so it's pretty unlikely that there's going to be a magic in there. So that's not something I would have been thinking about.
It does happen occasionally that the second magic is usually in Deep Shadow, because Deep Shadow. So we were kind of hoping, since Dotso skipped most of it, that if you were to go in there as child, you would have been rewarded with finding the magic lock magic.
I mean, it could have, but like I said earlier, I don't know the strat to get on the boat as child, so
yeah,
that's another reason I wouldn't have been thinking about it.
It is very fair, because I don't believe that strat is also... I don't think like is a trivial strat either.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't even know what it is. I know you can hover up there. That's not that bad, but in DDR you can't hover, so that's out.
Really? Thank you. I'm pretty much in bow mode at this point.
Oh wow, I didn't realize both scales were in Spirit. Wow.
Yeah, there was both hook shots in Bottom of the Well and both scales in Spirit. I thought that was funny.
Spirit basically loaded.
Are all three bows in GTG? Is that what this is? Is that what we're doing now? What in the fuck is the C? I didn't even mark the first goddamn scale, man. Well, Rip sub 3, by the way. But yeah, it was like that qualifier. It was like I could have skipped this and I could have skipped that if I didn't need to do all this, and it was just no, because I know there's a bonus.
Judging by access key count, and I'm pretty sure because she didn't do either of the magic checks, that there's a key in one of the magic checks.
But yeah,
Yeah, she definitely did child side. We saw that.
So I think the final key is, well, the key is either in Sunblock room or it's in
Okay.
chest.
I guess I'm going to because Snarky is MAA, and since we're so far into this race, Jin or Maraxis or Drew, who are the other runners still going, are probably actually Drew forfeit. I missed that. Damn it, Drew. So I guess we will raid Axe, since she's gonna be pretty much in bow mode. She has gold scale. You can reach boss key with gold scale. She already has a long shot. She's on a definite good pace to finish the seed, probably in the next 40 or so minutes. So before sending off to raid and cheer her for finishing, are there any final thoughts from you guys?
No, just that highest score on is a jerk. He deserves to be eaten by a dragon.
Always do deep fire. It's always the answer. Never get punished for doing deep fire.
It's such a troll too, because that hint that had there's a key up on the hammer chest, so I'm like, I don't want to go do the hammer chest. I don't have Song of Time or hook shot, so I can't get in there without doing the hammer chest, as far as I know.
Oh, there's a damage boost.
Oh yes, that does remind me, Datso. The clip into the like the block and fire. Is that technically a damage boost? I don't think so. But is there a technical name for that kind of clip, or is it just a clip?
That's a damage clip.
It's a damage clip. Okay, cool. Shira was asking me earlier, and I had no idea.
Yeah, those got found like 4 years ago when we started looking into all like the clipping properties. And then they got like just overused because you can just use them everywhere. But that one's been known for forever. But like the holding the explosive above your head and using that angle that it gives you, because that angle is super consistent. It's why the setup for bowling works.
Interesting.
Which is cool.
All right. I guess we will see Axe get her magic since now she's in the second phase. And then while she's probably cackling and enjoying that magic placement, we will give her a raid and cheer on as she can go and finish Water Temple and then complete the seed. Because she's really not that far ahead, but it will take a little bit of time to get through the dungeon. I also do have her audio up since she's the only runner available right now.
Yes, thanks everyone for watching, and we did want to give an extra shout out to all our trackers for Siberion, Sadie Sweet, Tomaltech 13, and Curry Chicken, as well as of course shout out our runners Sage, Datso, Axani, and Snarky, who agreed to be on Restream. Also, of course, thank you for co-commentator with Shiro.
Thank you for giving all the shout-outs. I was deep into listening to her reaction, but obviously thank you, Dobby, for your commentating as well.
My pleasure, as always.
And not cackling, but not mad. I'll take that from Axe. So with that, final plug that if you enjoyed watching our DDR monthly restream, please consider joining the Discord, or if you are in a Discord, come chat with us in DDR discussion or any of the DDR channels. We do have monthly asyncs with a lot of variable settings, and we don't do just these settings every week. We do a couple bingos, multi-worlds, some challenge series. We do a lot of different fun things to kind of switch it up week to week.
A lot of those are also co-op as well. So if you're looking for something that you want other people who are be able to help you learn glitches, those are a fantastic time to do that, since there are a lot of people there who are super knowledgeable about tricks and who will be super happy to help you out.
Yep. So definitely come and give us a look and chat with us, and we're happy to help you learn into glitching.
Join the dark side of glitching.
Turn the dark side. Dotso has many videos, so as well as Egg. So don't worry, we are all here to help you and course you. But with that, I guess I will send you all off to Axe, as she's going to finish the tea probably relatively soon. All right. I hope everyone has a great rest of their day.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.